let's do a cheers to the Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
It's not coming through.
6:06. You are listening to the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and on YouTube. Trev, pick yourself up off the mat.
I appreciate your commitment to not starting the show until you heard it.
We would have been on at 6:05.
Yeah, we could have had 8 minutes of dead air, and you'd have been like,
Look.
hold it. Hold.
There are rules.
Hold.
There are traditions. Yeah. Easy. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser back again. What a week it's been, hey?
Wow.
And going back to last Friday as well as you were in. So this is kind of where, what are you, bookending it? Is that the phrase?
On the couch. It's,
You've consumed the entire World Series. You've seen the Oilers, the ups, the downs. The Elks have a new president. It's just, you'd run through a wall with him or for him. That's what they're saying.
It's good. You guys can put me back in a tickle trunk for another 7 years.
And look what Daddy brought, eh? A little candy corn for you, and we'll be sampling. This is going to be a fun show. We got a lot to discuss from last night. Obviously, All Hallows Eve, and a happy All Saints Day to you as well.
To you as well.
Yes. I don't know what we do.
Later today, I'm nailing up 95 critiques of the Catholic Church on a local door. Yeah.
What is it? You reformist? Yeah. Somebody had a meme of the Popeyes. I mean, we are coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana kitchen studio, but it's Pope yes, Pope no, right? Because the
yes.
You get it. Yeah.
It's a very
play on words. Yeah.
It's a very Celebrity Jeopardy type of.
I had a giggle. Happy November 1st. Happy birthday to my father.
How old is your dad?
He's in the 80s.
Yeah,
low 80s. I'm not gonna. Well, we can just stop there. But
you don't want his identity stolen. I get it. You don't want to give too many pertinent details.
No,
birthplace.
Look, you leave out a few too many breadcrumbs, and bingo bango.
Pretty soon, everyone's walking around with his name on their ID.
We don't need that many Rons out in the world, right? So one's good enough. But
this says you're 84 years old. I am, sir.
Yeah,
I will have that beer.
I'll be seeing you tonight. Happy birthday.
You're heading out tonight, are you?
After the show, I just got to say, it's this one of those Friday hitting the highway, and no wife either, so I'm all alone. I'll have some CDs. And
other than your presents.
Peanut butter.
Are you bringing a gift for your dad?
No, he doesn't like. He doesn't like me spending my money on. Well, I sent him a card in the mail.
That is the most dad. That is the most dad thing in the world.
All I could use is a hug.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, as speaking as a dad of two sons, I would try not to make them feel bad for buying me anything, but I would probably receive it with just a mild annoyance.
Yeah,
at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. We used to, my brother Lucas, Whale and the Wolf as well, bass player. Back in the day,
good-looking fella,
very good, taller, whiter teeth, fairer hair.
I have the same issue. Yeah, my younger brother is, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes.
He got the good stuff, baby.
Yeah, way smarter,
and
also funnier.
In our 20s, when we used to go out, you'd party for Halloween, right? You'd be at the bar closing down. Mm-hmm. We'd phone him at 12:01. Dad, what are you doing? Why? I get it now why that wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah.
But back then, you're just having fun.
That's perfect.
So happy birthday to him. Dustin Nielson, again, still sick away. But, and I do know one of the many frustrations he had on missing this week, specifically yesterday, was his Halloween costume. I don't know if he put this out publicly on Twitter, but Clark Griswold from was it Christmas Vacation?
Vacation.
Yeah. When he's
Trapped
up in the attic, he's got the gloves on, the funny little bandana hat, the sweater, the whole bit. And since he was sick, the depression kind of matched the sadness to when Clark is watching those old-timey videos.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, he wins Costume of the Year for me, even though he wasn't here. You were going out for supper last night. You said that plan came to fruition.
Little din. Yeah.
Okay.
Right at the bar, an old
At
barbacoa.
the bar. Yeah, I love it.
The wife and I. It's a pretty perfect life. We were just talking about because you and your wife have started to adopt this as well. The splitting of the main.
It's pretty sly, but it saves you a lot on the old check.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but like you don't need to eat that much food.
We've been
especially at our age.
We've been conned in the North American cuisine game.
Well, it's more like
two sides.
When you're 24 years old, you need a certain amount of calories, and then unfortunately, you think, well, I'll need this many calories the rest of my life.
You don't
at every meal, and it's just not true, especially in your 40s. So it was a perfect little night. Had a delicious. I'm looking forward to beer of the week because I had a delicious hazy IPA last night.
Yes, and we will have beer of the week as well coming up later on. Rob Kowalchuk on his way this morning from Airdrie in Solutions Brewing. He'll be live in studio. I love the in-studio touch. We appreciate him putting on the miles for this one. Trev, how was your night, buddy? I was at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. I'll just gaze into my romperoo mirror right now. Andrew and Jason, Jay and Jocelyn, the Dill Pickle Hockey Show, Francis Atif, and some dude in an Ichabod Crane costume that I showed you beforehand. Box Pounder and his buddy that used to play for the Cowboys. Box Pounder, where are you? You should have won the jersey last night, but you left too early. The square board switched, and you were out in Aaron Rodgers' jersey. Aaron Rodgers' jersey up for grabs last night.
That'll be worth something someday.
Well, Norman at Combine won it, and he was loving it. The entire Combine crew, save for one son, Carson, Dustin with a Y. Anyone else that may have missed, apologies, but a great Halloween night at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. I was there. My wife was at home, and around 30 kids for the candy, which is fair. It's good.
That's
fair.
great.
You were out at the bar as well, sitting at the bar, having supper with your wife. YouTube Trev, you're in the midst of moving. How was your Halloween? 2024, one for the books.
This one, has actually wasn't really one for the books. Same old, kind of just packing away, got some more stuff over to the new place, which isn't, I guess, by Bunny Hill or Rabbit Hill, whatever you want to call it. I just figured that out this morning. Mm-hmm. And just watched the Oilers game, which we'll get into, which was a very exciting game.
Oh, baby.
And I guess I'll just remember the Halloween for this game because it was a good game. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Podkolzin.
Oh
I think let's get to this text right now in the Paris Jews inbox. LFC captain says Podkolzin. More like Pod killed him. Take that, Lazon. Have it.
Not bad.
He was feeling that hand in the penalty box. He's sitting there something wicked.
Well, and he was crucial on that first goal too. Like it was his pinch. Really nice aggressive play that set it up. So good showing up for that new first line.
Well, the pressure's off. This is his kind of second chance saloon franchise coming out of Vancouver, the high pick. Now you're in here. You don't need to do much, but you get a little elevation due to injuries, and we'll see what happens.
Listen, if you're going to be a successful franchise, you can't let talent like this just slip away from you. Like Vancouver Canucks, what are you doing?
It's embarrassing.
Philip Broberg also with an assist last night.
Who's he again?
Look, everybody kind of It's like the human centipede.
Right.
Yeah.
No, like
You lose talent, but then you
See that
gain
movie?
somebody else's talent, and it just keeps going like
what
that.
it is it's even Steven.
You're even Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Edmonton Oilers took a $20 bill and crumpled it up and chucked it out a window and then found a $20 bill in their coat pocket.
That's what your Podkolzin is. Yeah. Well, you'll remember it for that night. I mean, that's good enough. And Oilers are back.
Yeah, it looks like it for one game. And we'll see what what Oilers show up for Sunday night's game against Calgary.
Snip, snap, right?
They've also won 3 of their last 4, have they not?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's not just one game. Like over the last 4 games, they've looked like.
I guess.
One of
That's a
them,
good point.
One of them in overtime.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I forgot about that. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, they've started to turn the corner. They're back to 500. They are 1 point up on the St. Louis Blues after 11 games.
Philip Broberg's St. Louis Blues. Take that.
See? Well, Trev was down in the dumps when he came in. He's perking up.
We're
now.
marching now, baby. Yeah.
Hey, you guys lighten the mood. I
Yeah,
will say
there you
it's
go.
nice.
And even on points with the Canucks.
Speaking of lightening in the mood, how was that NFL Thursday nighter?
Well, we were going to save this and devote an entire segment. We'll have Herm Edwards by at 7:40 to break this puppy down. He used to be in that Jets franchise. Boy, oh boy. It had a little bit of everything, did it not? As I tweeted out, the world's best league on full display tonight, and you couldn't have asked for more.
Yeah.
Capped off with a player dropping the ball before entering into the end zone.
Appropriate that they played yakety sax the entire game.
I tell you, it was only missing a safety. I was waiting for the safety. It was crying out for a safety last night. I finally realized kind of why the Texans were entering an underdog into that game, and we were proven right. Norman the Combine crew, Texan family. At least him. I know the Suns kind of have their own, but some offensive line injuries and of course Diggs and Collins out. But 21-13 your final. Jets snapping a 5-game skid. They're back. Don't count them out yet, right? They got the
That's right.
they got the defense. They have the offensive
All is
talent.
fixed. All they have to do is win every single game for the rest of the year.
Look, I haven't taken a peek at the schedule, but who's to say?
Is it 31 games now that Aaron Rodgers has not scored over 30 points?
Oh,
He's still
it's
got
fine.
it.
He's
still got it.
Look, if he would only if they would only fire this person and hire maybe more weaponry would be needed. That would be nice.
It's all a conspiracy against
Toss him a bone.
Just ask him.
Toss him. He'll tell you. Yeah. T. Wilson in the Nasty Chat, it is humming this morning as well. 5-0 when they fight. So fight every game from here on out. We were talking about that yesterday, I think throughout the week as well. Rashog was talking about the physicality and the lack of hits. But every game that they fought, and Darnell Nurse fighting the previous time down in Nashville, Podkolzin last night,
and
dropping the gloves, and Emberson, a tight tilt for him. But we'll remember it for the Podkolzin was the main event. Emberson was your,
It's kind
what do
of
they call it in boxing?
It was kind of a showing up for his new teammates sort of thing.
Yeah,
right?
that's
it
true.
wasn't so much about the win or the loss. It was just the getting involved, right?
Sure,
So,
yeah.
Appropriate.
Yeah, a tiny night for the Oilers. 5-1 over the Preds. Once again, they chartered back. They'll be back home taking in a skate, I do believe, sometime today. And getting ready today or tomorrow, getting ready for the Flames Sunday night down in Calgary. And then the schedule heats up a bit. The Devils will be in town. Let's take a look here. Devils, Golden Knights will visit on Wednesday, and then Oilers, Canucks, hockey night in Canada, Saturday night out in Vancouver. So that's the week ahead.
Super easy schedule.
Hey, this is what you want. We've said though, backs again, the pressure's on. That's when they play the best. So maybe they'll get up for this talent, and
I hope so.
As you mentioned, add to that 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So have your thoughts.
To go 4 and 5 games, or 5 and 6.
Getting back to your odd numbers in injury time as well. Yeah. Who needs 3 and 4 when you can go 4 and 5?
Hey, speaking of odd numbers, the old 2 to 3 weeks. Are the rumors true, Trev? Was he skating yesterday?
Oh, he's a cyborg. We've been proven right.
He's a psychopath. Is what
Tom
he is.
Gazzola had it.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say. I was just wrapping up, I guess it was Lock Shop when I heard Tommy say that he was already on the ice again. And
What a
like,
sicko.
In a
yeah,
tracksuit.
he's like, I need to get out there.
Connor McDavid's a
I have an
sicko.
itch. I have an itch. I have to get out.
You
can't tame me.
They just turned the mic off on the podium when they announced he'll be gone for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and he's on the ice. What a psycho.
Are there any handlers at this point saying, I think maybe.
I think
We
they've
might
given
wanna-
up. I think they
well-
gave up a long time ago.
Because I have time for it if he's feeling fine, but
Yeah.
you can't tell me that any human being, and I get it.
He's not really
he's
that
outworldly,
human. Yeah, he's not really that human. Yeah.
but I don't know, man. This is
Was he just out there like
Even when those things heal
sending
properly, Egan.
snaps to Evander Kane? Like, is that all he was doing? Like, well, I'm out here pretty lonely.
look, define a skate, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he just maybe he was skating on one leg.
Right.
Maybe he
Yeah.
had one of the
Maybe they got one of those.
Somebody was out there
those-
with him.
Those knee scooters.
yeah.
Put hockey skates instead of wheels on it, and he's
We
just
only
out
know
there
what we know.
Just
Yeah.
scooting.
He was on the ice. In what capacity? That's to be determined.
Trying to
Friedman,
figure out if it could be legal.
Yeah.
Can I just use this in a game situation? A knee scooter?
still be better than half the forwards out there.
Yes, he would.
Dr. J says Friedman reports, unlike Connor, Dusty hasn't avoided worst case scenario. Look, he was able to get costumed up yesterday, and again, it fit the costume. So I think he's hopefully he's doing fine. He texted this morning. You said. Unsolicited, he said, "Don't worry about waking me up early. Haven't slept a lot this week." And what did you say? Oh no, we're not worried.
Yeah.
It's
Didn't even cross our mind. You malingerer.
two. Fun show. We'll set it up right now. We are working our way through morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. We'll get into the morning after show here in a minute. That's good for the Italian Center shop.
That's good.
Got in some candy corn, and I think the poll I put out yesterday on Twitter, a 100% percentile of margin of error. I would argue.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not really. I will.
This
dispute
feels like
this.
a big margin.
Look, 85%. I mean, there's got to be more of a middle ground here. Yeah.
There is no middle ground on candy
No.
corn.
85% of people say they like it. They hate it.
The other way. At least 85%, I think, at this point. But again, I dispute.
Oh, you'll find out, young man.
Where is it here? Yes. Oh, 79. It's okay. Well, I can live with those numbers.
It cracked
Oh,
70.
Big difference. Big difference.
Get it back a bit more. The crack pack for Wayne's. We're going Rourke hunting, I do believe, but the new CFL 2024 packs are out. Will and I will each crack a pack and some more info on Wayne's and the specials they have as we inch closer to the Christmas season. And I do have a special gift for YouTube Trev. Bit of a housewarming, if you will, as he doesn't have a pack to crack. But Will, you can see them. He can't. You don't even know what that is. I still don't know what it is. So we'll get to that in the opening hour. Chris Johnston of TSN, he'll be by at 7 o'clock. He is our hockey insider this morning. Cool Bet Canada hotline of the day at around 7:20. Your next chance to qualify for the EST Flyway to LA for the 780. That's coming up just after the Cool Bet hotline of the day, so be by your phones. YouTube Trev will have a keyword for that. The Fan Zone for Fans First at 7:30. Herm Edwards will be by at 7:40. The coach, in what capacity, we don't know. Video, phone. He was trying to double dip last week on the show. We had him phone for the regular segment. He tried to come in after the show in the video.
Yeah.
Just maybe to talk to Trev. I don't know. So it's always a wild card with old Herm.
Yeah, he's going to communicate just by emoji with us.
Yeah, and you can kind of go
was
game
very
by game with that.
Flame,
It was
jet.
Yeah. Kind of easy trivia. We'll have the questions for that, so you know it'll be a banger. 3 questions too many. That hurts for James H. Brown, injury lawyers at 8:20. And as mentioned, a Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week in studio. Rob Kowalczyk, Solutions Brewing. He's on his way from Airdrie right now, and he'll be by at around 8:30, all ahead of the wrap for William Huff. 6:22. We'll get into the morning after show right now. Oilers and Predators last night. Gentlemen, your big moment in that game, that happened.
Drop
what
of
do
the
you
puck.
got? Yeah, well, it's
The
I was gonna say
Oil-
first shift.
the Oilers came out of it like they were shot out
3
of a
shots and a
cannon.
goal before you blink.
Yeah, like
Can
they
we get
were-
the game on, please? Oh, it's 1-0. Eh?
You were absolutely shot out of a cannon last night. Like, I feel bad for Nashville Predator fan. I do.
One more game they get against the Oilers.
Like, I would hate watching the Oilers if I was a Predators fan, and it was so much worse than anyone expected to start the game last night. If you're a Predators fan, like, you're just like, can we keep this one competitive? And 10 seconds in, you're like, I don't like our chances tonight, guys. Leon Draisaitl and that line with him and Podkolzin and
Arvidsson, who got his first Oilers goal.
They swarmed them, and it was basically game over 36 seconds into the hockey game, which is wild.
Well, a night of nights, Arvidsson gets his first goal. Hyman off the schneid.
Yeah.
Philp's first point. Pickard, I thought, played a pretty tidy game as well. And, of course, Leon Draisaitl, to which... And, again, we said, too, probably the best opponent this club could get, sans
couldn't ask for
McDavid,
a better
because
one.
just due to the historical fact and everything else. And somebody correctly points out, Fireman Trev, Nashville second last. They haven't had the best start. They're still figuring things out. But I think the same could be said about the Oilers on any given night early this season. So... some great moments last night. Trev, would you agree? Just puck drop, or are you kind of pulling anything else that really signified last night and summed it up?
It was right from the get-go, and it wasn't just like it was fun to watch. Like, it was complete utter dominance by Leon Draisaitl, and I was getting flashbacks, from his Hart, Ted Lindsay, Art Ross winning season. That was the Leon Draisaitl that showed up last night. I'm not discrediting
or any playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Or any playoffs. And I'm not discrediting like the last few seasons he's had, because obviously he's been a top 5 NHLer.
Yeah.
But like, that was just vintage Leon Draisaitl. He was making something out of nothing, and it was fun to watch, man. Like, I was just like, holy crap! Like, this is the Leon Draisaitl we as fans have known to love and just watched and over the past few years. And sometimes like you're like, like maybe isn't McDavid, but then it's like, no, okay, like this is like,
Well, he's
upper
not
echelon.
McDavid. He's Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Like, and it was crazy what he was able to do. Like, his second goal there, like, it was just awesome. And then he was just passing so well. It's so extremely well. Just
And protecting the puck.
Protecting the puck, just tape-to-tape passes, like, out of nowhere. Him and Victor Arvidsson were just really reading off each other extremely well. And then, as you alluded to, Podkolzin, like, he was a key contributor to that first goal, right? And Leon read it complete, like, so well, got on the spot, pass it to Arvidsson, and then you're up 1-0, like, not even a minute in. So, yeah, I mean, that's the key takeaway from me. But it was just so fun as a hockey fan, just watching Leon Draisaitl last night.
Ty Emberson as well, dropping the gloves for his first career fighting major as well. 2 fights last night, Johnston, not just the Podkolzin major. So, yeah, when this team fights, they win. It's as simple as that. I think somebody said 5-0 when they have a fight and drop the gloves this season. So
Really nice start for Pickard as well.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not the noisiest game. And
It was one of those games where the Oilers had dominant stretches, and then there would be 45 seconds where there would be pushback by the Predators. And in other situations, we have seen where they get the opposing team kind of gets that. I don't want to call it a fluky goal, but a quick goal, like a reaction goal, and it can be deflating. And Pickard was there to make the save to keep the momentum going for the Oilers. So
Drake Caggiula as well, assisting alongside Philp on that Corey Perry's second of the campaign. So nice for the call-ups there to get a couple apples. And
nice job by Perry to like be the leader that we kind of know that he is. I don't get upset when certain veterans get put with a bunch of no-names and don't exactly bring their best effort. But he was the exact inverse of that. His head coach basically was like, we've got 2 guys from the farm. Let's see what we can do. And it very much felt like Corey Perry had those guys contributing from the get-go. So you like to see when the veteran guy plays like a veteran with the younger players. So, Caggiula isn't exactly a younger player, but a guy who's had limited opportunity.
That shaved head now, hey, it's just such a difference. Super stat of the night. What do you got, boys? I'll go with the Hyman goal. I think there's lots to pick from last night, but I think him registering himself and announcing himself, he's had the looks already this season. But getting that goal now, he doesn't have to worry about changing his tape and tying his laces in a certain fashion. +3 as well in the night. Zach Hyman off the schneid, as they say.
Yep.
Lots to pick from last night for super stats, but let's go around the horn, Will.
Super stat for me.
Philp?
I think you just look at time on ice and the fact that no forward
Very
had more
rounded.
than Leon Draisaitl's 19-20. So Leon Draisaitl, as dominant as he was in a game without a Connor McDavid, and he was still under 20 minutes of ice time.
Yeah.
That is a score effect. Yes, the analytics nerds will be like, when you've got a lead, you're able to rotate your lines more. But the temptation is always going to be to just load everything up on 2, maybe 3 lines, but they spread it throughout. There's nobody on. I mean, the lowest is Drake Caggiula with 827. It's not like you had a guy who had 3 shifts last night. Everyone kind of took a regular turn on the ice.
Trev, what do you got for stats? Anything jumping off the page? Lots to pick from.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of...
Leon could be the only. I mean, it could be as simple as that. Really, it's
Yeah, like I guess I'm just gonna say this if I can, just to touch on the Leon. It's not stat of the night, but just the history of Leon Draisaitl's dominance against the Predators. He's now up to 49 points in 28 games played against the team, which is just crazy, absolutely insane.
Actually, how about this for a stat? Noah Philp, first game being called up. He's centering a fourth line. He took 14 draws last night and won 10 of them for 71.4 in the faceoff dot.
That's very impressive.
If you want to earn your next game, I mean the point is good, but being 71.4% dot is...
You discussed yesterday. The point's fine, but as long as he's doing those things,
that's right.
That's what's going to seal the deal.
That's what's
going
to get his coach's attention. They're going to look at that stat sheet and go, for example, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was 80% in the dot. He took 5 draws.
Yeah.
He was 4 for 1.
Oilers 54
Noah
overall.
Philp had 14 draws. That means he was thrown over the boards to take draws in that hockey game. And man, did he ever show up.
Darnell Nurse as well with an assist. He had 5 shots and 4 hits in the game as well, 3 blocks. So he was kind of throwing it all around there. And Brett Kulak, 6 blocks on the evening as well. So
I think it was Nurse's one of his most noticeable games of the year this year.
We
sure.
all love to crap all over him, but it's good.
He's had a couple, but he was really skating up the ice last night.
I mean, the narrative will always have momentum. And what I mean by that is he has started to pick his game up. But the narrative that he is a car wreck out there still carries on even when his game is actually improving. So we'll see if the narrative starts to shift here a little bit.
And it can fall back there at times.
Right.
I mean, not in defense of him. Yeah, you've dug such a hole that it's kind of...
He has dug such a hole that he can have like one bad period and the narrative just takes over again. Right? So, but no, I think he has actually had several strong games here in a row.
Fair enough. The 3 stars of the game, gentlemen: Leon Draisaitl 1, Victor Arvidsson 2, and Kelvin Pickard 3. Who would you give the 4th to last night?
I think I might have given all of them to Leon Draisaitl. Done the old.
You can't do that. That's against the rules.
Done the old
man.
forum, right? I've got a soft spot for Podkolzin and what he did last night.
Yeah. And getting the time that he's been getting too, making full use of it.
Yeah, I mean he was the jet fuel for that line.
The Clean Costin 2.0.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Honestly, that there is echoes of that, of a guy getting an opportunity and running with it when he's got a chance to play with some better talent. So honestly, if I'm a Canucks fan, I'm a little annoyed today.
Are you leaning with Will on that one, Trev, or is there somebody else you'd like to
I was going to say
Podkolzin,
Podkolzin, but when we were just talking about him, I'd probably lean towards Nurse as well. I think you could give him. Yeah, he had a really good, strong performance last night. So, yeah.
Love it. That's your morning after show. Oilers pumping the Preds 5-1 down in Nashville. As mentioned, they will be back home, if not already, visiting the Calgary Flames on Sunday. And then as the week goes on, gets a little tougher. Devils Monday night, Golden Knights in town Wednesday, and then out in Vancouver Saturday night. But again, a good test for this club heading into next week and seeing where they're at, and another measuring stick to come early this season. So we'll get set for that, and a little revenge in the BOA on Sunday evening down in Calgary. 6:32. It's Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser, and for Dustin Nielsen, YouTube Trev as well. Let's get to a sports update here. We'll be back with a little that's good for the Italian Center shop. YouTube Trev's going to try his first ever candy. We're all going to have a candy corn, right? I've been looking forward to this. I'll pop one, maybe 2. You're still game, right? You're very curious. Good. I love it. I love it, Trev.
That would be rude if I didn't now.
It's going to be delicious.
Right
it's going to be delicious. You're going to love it. That's good for the Italian Center shop and the crack pack for Wayne Sports Cards coming up. This is the Nielsen Show presented by Southport Chevrolet, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Last night, Leon Draisaitl with 2 goals and an assist as the Oilers dumped the Preds 5-1. Zach Hyman and Victor Arvidsson also recording their first goals of the season, while Noah Philp records his first NHL point in his first NHL game. Oilers return home and will visit the Flames Sunday night, puck drop at 6 p.m. Elsewhere in the NHL, Alex Ovechkin scored along with 2 assists as the Capitals double up on the Habs 6-3. The Sharks edge the Blackhawks 3-2. Hurricanes all over the Bruins 8-2. Leafs topped the Kraken 4-1. Sidney Crosby scored twice as the Penguins got past Anaheim 2-1. Philly over the Blues 2-1 as well. And today in the NHL, puck drop at noon from Finland. The Stars battle the Panthers, and then 5 games dot the schedule later tonight. Over to the NFL, the Jets topped the Texans 21-13 to snap a 5-game skid. In the association, Victor Wembanyama with 25 points, 5 blocks, and 5 steals as the Spurs topped the Jazz 106-88. Suns improved to 4-1 with a 125-119 win over the Clippers. The Rockets defeat the Mavs 108-102, while the Bucks have dropped 4 straight following a 122-99 loss to the Grizzlies. And the Raptors are back home to host the Lakers tonight in one of 9 games around the NBA. This sports update brought to you by Nisku Glass. If you're looking for replacement glass for your construction equipment or fleet vehicles, or home or business owner looking to upgrade your space with high efficiency windows and modern glass designs, Nisku Glass is here to help. From your home or business or your vehicle, they won't just meet your glass needs, they'll shatter them. Check out their Instagram or give them a call at 780-955-7989 and see what Nisku Glass can do for you.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.36, it is the Nielson Show, Edmonton Sports Talk, iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and on YouTube. If you are watching along on YouTube this morning, hit the thumbs up. Smash the thumbs up, hit a like. We'll be changing 100 by the time the hour's out, looks like. And subscribe if you haven't already to the Edmonton Sports Talk channel. Our pursuit of 10.5 thousand continues. 1 degree for a high today, mix of sun and cloud. Could get a little precipitation over the weekend, and it looks like temperatures will warm up a bit as we head into the latter half of next week. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser, and for Dustin Nielsen yet again, and YouTube Trev behind the monitors and providing you, getting you up to date in the sporting world. Let's get to that's good for the Italian Center shop right now.
That's good.
That's sexy. That's almost like a pick up the phone. Can you give us a 1-900 number as well to follow?
That's good.
That's good. The Italian Center shop, of course, you can get the pizzas, the take and bake pizzas, the pastas, everything such as that. If you're a family on the go or an individual on the go, like YouTube Trev moving, you can get some of the sandwiches as well, Spinelli sandwiches. Where is the line here? The Italian Center shop. Hand-stretched house-made dough topped with our signature sauce. Best ingredients from the deli. The Pizziolos have done the hard work, so you just need to throw them in the oven. You look like a hero in 10 minutes. Or if you're cooking from frozen, about 20-24. You get a nice crisp undercarriage there. So check out the Italian Center shop today. That's good. Once again, I promised. And oh, it's getting hot down there. Candy corn, I got a full and this is kind of the point. I kind of got a little hog wild. Usually probably best to buy in bulk so you can kind of measure out the...
You old wild hog, you.
One scoop is good enough, but I did buy the entire tray of candy corn. This is not going to get eaten. Unless I leave it here, Zach will probably finish it by the end of the day. Hey, by the way, any update on the workstation? Does it look a lot more cleaner and professional? I don't see any pop cans lying around.
No pop cans today. No paper hanging around. The pens are organized. It all looks so much better. So
good.
I think we got to him. He knows now not to just, leave pop everywhere.
We railroaded him yesterday, and I think a pat on the back today, much like Darnell Nurse, right? That's that type of thing.
This is why you make him wear a sandwich board and shame him publicly. It works. That's why you do it.
Thank you, Zach. And that's good. See, it's nice to come in here with a nice, clean... So without any further ado, that's good. And I love this stuff. I tell you. YouTube Trev's going to try his first piece of candy corn. Now, you can get these in the candy pumpkins, which are a little bigger. Yeah. No,
Hands up!
keep doing it. No, keep going. Yeah, throw more.
Open your mouth!
Pepper.
Open your mouth!
Zach, you got cleaning to do. I'm coming to grab one. Ow. Oh, there's one right here. Okay.
Those were all 3-pointers, and you should have caught them.
Okay, well, I have one now. Ow. Ow. Okay.
Dance.
Kobe.
Oh, that was too tough. Darn it.
Yeah, come grab one, Trev. Pick a one. Don't pick one of the deformed ones. Get a
You'll
real.
notice
Get a real. good
barely
one.
a dent in it.
It's just a bottomless pit of sugar cubes.
Of candy corn.
Pick a good one. Get a real fat one. The candy pumpkins, though, they're like twice the size, eh?
Wow.
Double your fun.
Triple
Double your
fun.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Did you eat it? No. Eat it.
What are you waiting for?
Just wait.
I'm going to have another.
That's good.
I can't believe you threw candy corn at me.
You're my
The
favorite.
one
bit.
hit
No.
my head.
I don't know why. All right.
Okay, here goes
Eat it.
nothing nasties.
Throw another one at him. I like this game.
Ow.
Yeah, try to get him in my mouth.
Oh, that hit the. Okay, here. I'm just let me eat one here. Okay, ready?
Texture's great, eh?
It tastes like a.
It's just sugar.
That's the topping of a sugar cookie. That's all that is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
an
yeah.
Interesting take.
Yeah. Now you're making a
I
face.
just need cookie now, because that's pretty sweet.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very
It's
sweet. You can't eat a
uncomfortably
lot.
sweet.
You can't eat a lot.
That's good.
You know what? I don't
Stop it.
hate the taste.
Yeah, but you can't eat too many. Like, will you come back for seconds? You can if you want. Get him
Oh, holy!
right in the eye.
Oh, that spooked me. That's not bad.
Yeah,
okay.
like it's you're not.
I don't think it's as bad as people were saying.
No, I'm gonna have a third. Say it. Say it.
That's good.
It's killing me.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
That's not
Small
bad.
doses. Like I'd probably just take a bite.
You don't need too many. It's like a cinnamon hearted Valentine's. You're not eating a full pack. Joel
Cinnamon
says
hearts are more like a smelling salt, aren't they? Like, take those on the bench after a big hit.
they're bigger ones and they're smaller ones. I find there's brand
That's what she
recognition. No, come on now. Joel says tastes like vanilla. Yeah, there's something there
I get
too.
that.
There you get a hint of vanilla.
Yeah,
I
all in
feel
all,
like that's the throwaway tasting note for someone who doesn't know what they're tasting.
Hints
Am I,
of vanilla.
Am I
Am I
picking up a
detecting?
hint of vanilla on this?
You remember that for beer of the week?
Yeah,
The first thing
exactly.
we
Absolutely.
Aye, this
Yeah.
lager.
Yeah.
Little vanilla in there, eh? Just a drop. Big Slam Nasty says, "Is the workstation clean?" Proceeds to launch candy corn all around the office. Yeah, that was kind of the joke here. Zach will have a lot of cleaning to do later this afternoon. You are humming them, eh?
I see what you're. Ow!
Try to catch one in the mouth, though. Yo.
Oh!
Ding!
That scared me. Two can play this game, Will.
Whoa!
I'm just joking.
You don't do that to the talent.
Have one.
That's rude.
Have one. Come on.
No.
You're in here. It's a special occasion.
I have old man teeth. They would just shatter on that.
As far as
They're
texture
very
goes,
soft. Yeah, it's nice, eh? Pillowy. You love that candy
Yeah.
coating.
You're gonna regret this.
it's just like
We were just talking. You're gonna have sour gut all day.
Bad tummy.
Yeah.
it's just the icing on the top of a cookie.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That's all it is. You can't eat too many.
So whatever that texture is, it's pretty similar to that.
All right. Well, look. Try to do a nice
Don't
thing.
cover it up.
No, you know
This
what?
is my
Thank you.
dad's birthday present now.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Going to town on these. Candy corn or bonbon de mai, if you're
Ah,
in Francais. 375 grams.
I was
You want
not
me to read the
expecting
ingredients? Sugar, corn syrup, dextrose, honey, confectioner's shellac, salt, pork gelatin. You want me to go on? Sesame oil. And then you get into the artificial flavors. Sunset yellow FCF, tartrazine, erythrosine,
Yeah.
may contain peanuts. Oh, geez. We got to keep this away. We got to clean this up before Reed gets in. Tree nuts, milk, eggs, soy, and wheat. Never
I
knew.
can taste the soy. Yep.
You're
I was
getting the
gonna
soy.
say.
I'm picking up a hint of soy.
I was just
Is
going to
that
say
a
that.
soy note?
The soy,
How wild.
it comes like 30 seconds later. That's where I get the soy.
All right. That was that's good for the Italians.
Thank you, LT.
You're welcome.
Like that was.
If
I'll
you want to
remember
take
this
them for the
rest of my
house,
life.
yeah, they don't expire either. They can last.
No.
I mean they'll be good for years.
Yeah,
These don't expire?
Those things, Twinkies and cockroaches,
Halloweens.
will be the only thing left.
Halloween's will be flying cars by the time. Yeah. Bonbon d'Amour is candy of the sea. Joel says, yeah, whatever. That's good for the Italian
Yeah,
Center Shop.
whatever.
Let's move on, shall we? The crack pack for Wayne's popped into Wayne's yesterday. They were in the Halloween spirit as well. Got a couple of CFL packs, 2024, Nathan Rourke on there. So if you want to get into the latest CFL crack pack game, of course, division semifinals tomorrow around the league with a pair of games. So we'll be cracking these. YouTube Trev, we didn't get a pack for you, but I did pick up a couple of these, and they're called Catches with a K. Kind of like an oversized pog.
Yeah, they're a pog, man.
Yeah, but the game was there was a helmet and it was like a magnet, and you'd scatter them all over the ground and you'd try to pick them up with this magnet thing. I missed out on this apparently, but all these players are from the 90s, so I got you a Grant Fuhr Blues and a Timu Solani Ducks. They didn't have any Oilers, so there you go.
Is
Trev,
that the Grant Fuhr Blues
for the
season
house.
where he played like 80 of the 82 games? That was a Mike Keenan year.
73 on this one, but here you go. No, I'm not. That's for you, buddy boy. Will, I'll give you a pack down there, and we'll open this one.
Hockey DB Grant Fuhr from that year with the Blues. It's insane how many games he played.
Once again, Wayne Sports Cards is the place, and with Christmas season approaching, they do have their advent calendars out now. Wayne gave Dusty a pair that he was supposed to bring in here. He took them home, and they're probably all open by now.
Yeah. What else has he been doing this week?
Oh, look at this. 2-rider offensive linemen off the hop. Jamarcus Hardrick and Peter Godber. Love it. Zach Caleros, Will, are you interested in these type of trading here?
I've got a Kevin Brown.
Deal you
An Elks Kevin Brown.
and that's the greatness card, CFL greatness. Martez Ivy from your Edmonton Elks. Brady Oliveira, another bomber. This pack sucks. Boris Beatty, Elks. Cody Fajardo. You might remember him. Fajardo, yeah. Cody Fajardo, Montreal Elks. Willie Jefferson, Nick Dembski. This is a Blue Bombers pack for me. This is terrible. Casey Sales, Tyson Philpott, and another CFL greatness, Winton McManus from your Toronto Argonauts. Any more green and whites in there that I could possibly get off here?
No, I'll tell you when I get one.
You can't pronounce any of these names.
I got 2 Elks.
Yes.
Greatness. Look at that.
Nice
I'm
cards, the
cleaning up.
CFL greatness. Javon Leake and Kevin Brown. You're almost you're a ranking away from the backfield set.
I'll tell you this. Old Matty Iwanix gonna be breaking the Velcro.
Jeez.
He's gonna be breaking the Velcro on his wallet.
You hit.
Trey Ford. That's good.
Hold on to that. That's currency.
I know.
That's
That is
currency
cur-
around here.
I-
Like you are getting.
Yeah.
You will pay you a king's ransom in
He
candy
will.
corn for that puppy.
Yeah. Oh, I hit.
You're not just going
I
to give that.
hit
You're
on
not
this
just going to
back.
give that to him. Eh? Sometimes I get a card. I'll get Yankee. I'll put it on
Make
his.
him dance sexy for me. That's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do.
He's gonna. He'll be all over that.
Yeah.
So we thank Wayne for this outstanding cards. The CFL once again back 2024.
Yeah.
Rourke on the cover.
Look at
It's funny to put a backup
What a
quarterback
win.
on the
What a
cover.
win.
Matt Hyman says, "LT, want to send the Bombers cards over this way? You pay for the shipping, and I'm all in." But a backup quarterback on the cover, hey, get it? Yeah, because he's not playing.
He's not starting.
playing. He's big money man riding the
He's a
pine.
Backup.
Yeah, I got to watch what I say here. I don't know.
Yeah, you are jinxing your squad.
Bad voodoo. Yeah. But
It's okay. No one's listening.
I know. Dean Belanger, if you want these Bombers cards as well, come and get them. Matt Hyman, the race is on if you want your Willie Jeffersons and Nick Dembskis and so on and so forth. But again, head down to Wayne's. It's in the same mini strip, not even a mini mall. It's kind of a bigger, larger strip mall, I guess. Not even a big box, really, because they're smaller boxes. Italian Center Shop, you got Boston Pizza Westgate, Firehouse Subs, and the Mr. Barber where Dustin gets his haircut, all in one parking lot. But Wayne's in there as well. Go check out Wayne's. Tell him EST sent you, and pick up those advent calendars. We'll be cracking those soon, as Wayne said. Only like
And be careful in that parking lot. It's
It's a-
that's a Wild West in that parking lot.
you used to be able to drive through that banking thing, and now they blocked that off with flower pots.
There's nothing but scofflaws cutting through that parking lot.
Lots of scofflaws.
Thinking that they can avoid the right-hand turn
I'm one
into
of
the
them.
mall area.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you're walking across trying to get to the Italian Center Shop, and you take it in the hip.
Did you know you can actually drive behind the Italians
Yeah.
shop? Yeah,
I know.
Not a lot of people know that little route.
I know, but that
a shortcut.
You're just asking for people to ding your door.
Yeah,
over there.
Feeling lucky.
It feels unsupervised. That's what I don't.
Very
like about
unsupervised,
Yeah.
yes. But yeah, go check out Wayne today. The Advent calendars will be by. Wayne mentioned, this is every Friday thing for the Crack Pack, and there's only like 4 in November. Then it's Christmas season. I mean,
Ho,
time
ho, ho.
flies. Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
6:48. Once again, just on the football theme, Chris Morris yesterday. An outstanding job. EST was all over this thing. Chris Morris's press conference yesterday. You pulling anything out of that? I think it kind of resembled what we were talking about yesterday morning in terms of that C word in culture. All I was reading online was, "I will run through a brick wall for this man." That was the refrain over and over and over again. And I think, day one, hour one of him getting the job, he said he'll hit the ground running come Monday in terms of finding a GM, a coach, and all those things. But I don't think you could have asked for more out of a presser from a guy who, again, once the hire was made, not a lot of negativity, but maybe a few questions, like in terms of, how, why, him. I know Sean Fleming's name was batted around a lot, but I think Morris in that presser yesterday put to bed any sort of questions that some fans out there might have.
Yeah, a lot of people will be like, okay, it's a culture hire. What's the culture, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what was the impression of the culture that you picked up that he's going to be bringing?
Well, it's just, again, 3-time Grey Cup champ. I think we kind of echoed it yesterday in the show, too, that he knows this team, he knows this market, and he knows how to communicate with this fan base.
Respect, I guess, would be the culture that he, so he respects the traditions. He respects the town that he's in. He respects the fans. He respects the media and the job that they have to do. Like respect would be probably the cornerstone. He is a professional. He is passionate, but it's not that sort of there's other cultures that you can have. It's kind of like, we're going to be the bad boys. We're going to be the,
Yep.
we're going to be, I don't know,
The good boys.
angry. We're
Sure,
gonna be
yeah.
like we're gonna walk around with a chip on our shoulder. That's not the culture that I felt from it. I felt like the culture that we're gonna have is that you show up to work, you do your job as hard as you can, you are respectful to the people around you and the sacrifices that they make, and one of service as well. Like, how can we serve this city? So
I think another C word as well, consistency.
yeah.
And in terms of, and I know the league is set up in a way where sometimes you don't get a lot of that with the players that a team acquires. Guys come and go, and it's tough to, I can't buy a jersey. But that's just the nature of the league and the nature of the contracts dealt out and how the league operates. But I think also fans were getting kind of miffed at, a coach and general managers maybe wearing too many hats. This seems to me like, again, you need a good guy in this role to then hire the next guy.
Right.
Who's going to hire the next guy and then build something and have a little, as mentioned, consistency. I think the quote was, "The revolving door is over." And that's, again, for a fan base to kind of latch onto and dream those dreams, you need people constantly in that place, not just kind of changing over and knee-jerk reactions.
Yeah, and you also, the mistakes that I feel have been made around the sports world over the last 20 years is they keep hiring people as presidents for the job that should have been the consultants. And what I mean by that is you find a guy who has a job description that includes marketing and event promotions. And you're like, well, if he has experience in that, he'll be great as a president in as far as marketing. And it's like, no, your president hires those people, right? Your president is the one that comes in and identifies the best promotional talent to bring in and promote your football team. You don't hire a president who's going to be a promotions person. You hire a president to be a president. And a president is someone who is a leader and a delegator. And I felt very much like Chris Morris gave me the impression like he understands that that's the gig. I have to delegate the authority around the organization properly.
Yep, and again, I think a very encouraging time that everybody and the fan base kind of collectively all get behind this. You don't get so much of a chance, and even going back to Larry Thompson now, you acquire an asset like this, and he doesn't have to live through now a lame duck season or
Right.
or
Right.
wait. And maybe you could argue too, you'd be given time then to identify, but whatever. You are here now. You have an opportunity to rinse it all clean, and not against the wishes of anybody. This isn't like a combative type of, well, actually, a section of the fan base wanting to keep the old guard or wanting to keep a coach or whatever. You had two guys interim, G. Roy Simon, AGM as well, but Jarius Jackson, interim head coach. Like, you have a real good chance now to just move forward altogether lockstep. Fans, players, I mean, who knows how many will be back. I've always said that this roster was littered with a lot of talent, really. It was just kind of getting it all together. But a real chance here to kind of move forward, and he's leading the charge here. Tubsock says he's the opposite of Len Rose, whom you would like to throw through a brick wall.
Yes.
That type of...
That's exactly it. I think what's encouraging, for me at least, is in this first hire, Larry Thompson has hired someone who does not look like his job is to manage his owner. Right? Like, you find in a lot of situations when the guy who's cutting the checks, the guy who is hired to be his quote unquote president, really what his job is to do is to make sure that the owner feels okay about what's going on. And that and so they end up spending a lot of their time sort of massaging the message around making their owner feel better, making their owner be less accountable, all those types of things. Whereas this just feels like Larry Thompson's just going to get out of the way.
And that's, again, setting all of this up.
Yeah.
And everybody handling what they need to handle and going down the line and that's why I maintained you can't be putting people in place who are going to, for example, cater to Trey Ford. You're mixing up the whole line of
the delegation of authority.
Exactly. So you're right. And these are two steps now in Larry and Chris.
Yeah.
But you mentioned you already can tell with these two steps
where their
that they're
management style is downward.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's
what is my job as a
flowing
manager?
down
What is my job as a leader?
Yeah.
It is to lead the people who report to me, not to make sure that the people I report to are as happy as possible.
Yeah. And I'll admit, too, and I think we've all been guilty, you want to, it's the same with Connor McDavid going down injured here. I'm always trying to tug and find the positivity from certain appointments and hires. I thought Chris Jones, again, I think he's an outstanding defensive coordinator. I think that he could be a good head coach. I don't necessarily know about general managing and wearing all the hats at once. And we've seen how that ended. Victor Cui came in here with a lot of fanfare and what he did in the fighting arena and everything. I don't think he came in here wanting to do anything bad. His heart was in the right place. But again, no real relationship or understanding kind of how things went there, and things go awry. And Chris Presson, who Dave Jameson alerted us to and corrected on the name yesterday too, I think he came in during a tumultuous time. They were changing the brand, everything like that. He was from the States, trying to do the right work. But what are you going to do? If I was hired to coach Manchester United, I don't know how to coach a soccer team. I don't like the club. I take the job, I guess. I do what I can do to keep the job. But if your heart's not in it and you don't have the skills to excel at it, it's just not going to work. So, again, I think you're looking at these appointments, and hopefully that continues, as you mentioned, downstream within the GM and the coach and everything. But it fits. It's a shoe that fits exactly. Oh, your foot's a little narrow, hey? Oh, your toe kind of squeezed out here. No, it fits like a glove. Like it's just it's almost like it's meant to be.
You rarely make a misstep when you make character your priority.
Yeah.
In hiring at the top.
You shouldn't if you've been looking, yeah.
When you're hiring you can get creative with the personality types after that, but when you're dealing with everyone's boss, if you start with what's the most important thing is going to be character of this individual, that's a really good starting point. And that is not to say that anyone else was of low character, but the reason for their hiring was not starting from character.
No, it was starting that and the other
something else on their resume, right?
Yeah.
And so I would think if I'm an Elks fan, I am heartened by the last week with this football club.
This should get you buzzing. And again, I've been trying to find the good and the silver linings in the past appointments as well.
Yeah, you don't have to work hard on this one.
Exactly.
Yeah, you may have had to work harder
We did.
in
We
years
dug and we
past.
scraped and we scratched,
Yeah.
and you're trying to kind of find positivity, but this seems good. And again, you can kind of rub your hands together, Elks fans or fans of the EE. As Chris Morris said, he'll be looking at potential GMs immediately. They have to be living in the interview process starting Monday. So things will get going here, and he's eager and champing at the bit for this job. So if you missed any of it yesterday as well, I know we were live down there at Commonwealth, EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gage. Maddie was down there as well doing two guys alongside Gager, two guys and a goalie. But all that audio up at edmontonsportstalk.com is where you can rewatch it and re-listen to it if you wanted to check that out. And Chris Morris joining the boys. Also want to make mention here quickly, and we got TSN's Chris Johnston coming up. The Edmonton Sports Talk pop-up shop is live. Shop EST. It's got right on the top of the banner. You go to edmontonsportstalk.com, shop EST, and you hit that, and you can start shopping. I'm going to click on the button now, start shopping. It's all for the Hive product marketing. Shop now. So you got the baseball tee. Few different variations on the original pop-up shop. You got the hoodies, the Champion brand long sleeve. Champion brand, a great long sleeve sweater.
Sure, man.
It's just delicious. You were coming in here the other day talking about the winter's wear and all that. Like it's just, but it's like it's just a solid brand. Not one of those no athlete is like pumping it out. You're not
I see.
doing a deal with Champion necessarily.
They're relying on the quality of their product rather than the quality of their market.
And that's it. It's just solid stuff. So you got some half zips, quarter zips, the full zip hooded sweatshirt, and the ever popular Edmonton Sports Talk hat. I'm wearing the green and gold variety, which you can get, but they will also have a blue and orange. You can tell the theme on that. And the Glue Crew line. That Jason Milne has released here. A baseball tee, a midweight hooded sweatshirt, and a youth hoodie. You got socks, you got a Birdie Boost shot glass, and a 6 o'clocker lager beer can glass. The EST pop-up shop live now, but for a limited time only. So get in there, edmontonsportstalk.com, EST shop, and shop away and find some... look, it's Christmas is right around the corner. So maybe you can find some things for your family and friends here at the EST pop-up shop. 7 o'clock, it's a sports update. As mentioned, we'll get into last night's hockey game. Oilers pumping the Preds down in Nashville, and more from around the National Hockey League with Chris Johnston on the way in hour number 2 as well. The Coolbet Canada hotline of the day. Your next chance to qualify for the EST Flyway to LA as well will be on the way at around 7:25. The Fan Zone for fans first.
Fan Zone.
And a recap of last night's humdinger in the NFL. A real example and display of, as I mentioned yesterday on Twitter, the world's best league.
Yeah.
If you're trying to sell it to somebody, you package that puppy up in a duotang and you say, have at it.
One of those games where league management is like, oh, thank goodness we put this on Thursday.
A prime timer for the ages. We'll have that and the whole Week 9 slate with the coach, Herm Edwards, coming up at around 7:40. It is myself, Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser, in for Dustin Nielson. This is the Nielson Show presented by Southford Chevrolet on Edmonton Sports Talk. YouTube Trev with a sports update.
Last night, Leon Draisaitl with 2 goals and an assist as the Oilers dumped the Preds 5-1. Zach Hyman and Victor Arvidsson also recording their first goals of the season, while Noah Philp records his first NHL point in his first NHL game. Oilers return home and will visit the Flames Sunday night, puck drop at 6 p.m. Elsewhere in the NHL, Alex Ovechkin scored along with 2 assists as the Capitals double up the Habs 6-3. The Sharks edged the Blackhawks 3-2. Sidney Crosby scored twice as the Penguins got past Anaheim 2-1. Hurricane all over the Bruins 8-2. Leafs topped the Kraken 4-1, and Philly over the Blues 2-1. Today in the NHL puck drop at noon from Finland, the Stars battled the Panthers, and then 5 games dot the schedule later tonight. Over to the NFL, the Jets topped the Texans 21-13 to snap a 5-game skid in the association. Victor Wembanyama with 25 points, 5 blocks, and 5 steals as the Spurs topped the Jazz 106-88. Suns improved to 4-1 with a 125-119 win over the Clippers. The Rockets defeat the Mavs 108-102, while the Bucks have dropped 4 straight following a 122-99 loss to the Grizzlies. And the Raptors are back home to host the Lakers tonight in one of 9 games around the association. The Sports Update brought to you by Greenplan, providing you with award-winning environmental and consulting services, whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential. Plan it right with Greenplan. Visit greenplan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292.
got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, you nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad guys. Like Brzezinski and Noodles, Gadget can gauge it. Maybe it's fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Beat us the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macaroon, Rapapo, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the north. All about him being in person. Dusty, go forth. What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
7:05 on a Friday morning. You are tuned into the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Once again, streaming on the TuneIn and iHeartRadio apps and on YouTube with that delicious, lovely wide-angle shot. You get the full theme of the studio, to which, again, we had a bit of an idea of Wil Fraser, what was it, deflowering the studio, decluttering, defrocking. That was the word. We were going to just spend an entire segment taking down the decorations, and I think a piece by piece is nice too. Yeah. We'll rip off a piece of tape whenever you feel just.
It's like the picture of the owner from Major. Was it Major League? Not. Yeah, it was Major League, wasn't it? When the Cleveland Indians were marching towards a pennant.
Well, Slapshot as well with Ned Braden. He's taking the piece of equipment off. Yeah.
Oh, no, he was stripping. I was thinking they had the picture of the owner.
He was deflowering.
Yeah. Defrocking.
Deflowering a dirty word? That's not dirty?
I mean, defrocking's not great, but deflowering's
that's not
problematic,
good.
As they say.
Okay, well, we'll move on. It's Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen again. Get well soon, Dusty. We're all worried about you, except for Will. You're having a blast, eh? It's been a fun week. Yeah, you got the World Series. You've seen the Oilers go up and down. McDavid's hurt. Chris Morrison is prez.
Yeah. That has been the conversation between my wife and myself on our evening walks. Dustin missed a complete World Series. Like from start to finish.
Yeah, he's not Mr. October.
Yeah.
You are. VR Montenegro texts in as well, the Paris Jewelers inbox. Text of the day up for grabs, $20 to A&W. C Murder, Chris Morris, goes in Monday, pops a couple of candy corns, and hits play on Coldplay's Fix You. Maybe that's the incorporating the candy corn. I love it. What a delicious text. Would you say, that's good?
That's good.
I do believe our hockey insider for the day is ready as well. Chris Johnston will be joining us right now. It's all courtesy Pro-Am Sports. And Chris, welcome back to the program, man. Want to get last night out of the way off the ice, though. You're a working man, so I don't know what your plans were last night. Were you out trick-or-treating? Were you handing out candy? Or just simply, again, just working your regular job that you do every day and covering the National Hockey League?
Is he muted?
Are you muted? Are you muted, Chris? We're not hearing you.
All right.
We're gonna jettison you, and we'll come back. Man, what a suspense! Hey, what do you think he did last night? He's an NHL. Luke Gazdick, we had him on yesterday. He said he was doing the studio thing, costumery there as well. But if you were to take a stab at what Chris may have been doing last night, out canvassing for candy, out giving it out to,
I think he's a dancer. I think he just finds whatever.
You're going off the board here, and I love it.
I think he just finds whatever dance club he can get to. Hits the techno beat.
Okay, Chris Johnston's back. Want to let you know he's brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Have the boys at Pro-Am sew a name and number on your jersey, current name, legends, or even your own. Visit them. The ever popular your own name on the back of a jersey. God love it, hey?
It's a good choice.
Kozlowski. It's always looks great. Visit them in store to get it sewn up. Located at Edmonton, corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, online at promsports.ca. We reset, Chris. Your Halloween night was?
Can you hear me first?
Yes.
Oh,
Awesome. Nothing gets I'm a very chill guy, but when technology doesn't work, that's the only thing that kind of gets me rattled. So, but what didn't get me rattled is how many kids came by my front door last night. So I was on handing out candy duty.
Okay.
We had a beautiful night here in Toronto, and it was probably a record number of kids coming by my door.
did you have to start rationing? Like, did you get worried that you were going to run out?
Starting to sweat?
Honestly, I bought way too much candy. Like I spent like $100 on candy. So no, there's it's honestly just because I'm worried. I don't want to be that house that runs out. So
here's a nickel.
Unfortunately now, if I look a lot bigger in subsequent weeks, it's probably because I've been eating my way through the remaining candy. But no, it was a great night here, and I didn't work too much. I watched some of the games after the trick-or-treating ended, but that's about it.
One last one on this topic: full-size bars, candy bars. You going with like other types of candy, chocolates? Like, what's kind of the flavor that you're handing out from the Johnston household?
Well, I actually want to go full size in the future because I just remember the Odd House that did that as a kid, like how special it was. But I just did sort of the normal, and they're getting smaller and smaller, honestly. So a lot of candy bars. I mixed in some Tootsie Rolls, some Rockets, and I made sure to give a good handful to everyone that came through.
You look like your childhood was pre-social media. Do you remember how the rumor of the full-size candy bar house would kind of trickle through the evening? Like you'd meet up with friends who were trick-or-treating, and all would be like, like Old Lady Brown's handing out full-size candy bars.
Exactly. I mean, I grew up in a small town. Certainly did not have a cell phone as a kid. That wasn't even a possibility. And so everything was word of mouth back then.
Lots of treats for the Oilers last night down in Nashville. I mean, pick your spot here. But really, no Connor McDavid, no problem for this team. Hey, Chris?
Yeah, and I think that's probably in its own way a bit of a confidence builder. You know, no one clearly would want to choose to play a game without Connor McDavid. But when you have a couple days knowing you're going into that game in Nashville, that's going to be a reality. And, at least probably for a couple more beyond that, although there is certainly some optimism, I think, on the Connor McDavid front with his injury situation, to have a couple guys like Zach Hyman get their first goal of the night. Leon Draisaitl has a big game. I think we've seen this team do it in the past, but when you're maybe not in a position where everyone had been firing on all cylinders, just to start the first 10 games of the season, I think that's a sort of a building block kind of win potentially where they can start instilling some confidence. And obviously, everyone becomes a little bit more important when you're missing the absolute most important guy in the lineup.
Chris, as a guy who watched the Oilers throughout the 90s, I am triggered every time the Oilers play Nashville because it just reminds me of Timo Solani coming into town, taking on the Oilers. And it was a massacre every time. Solani would murder the Oilers. Leon Draisaitl now has 41 points in 16 games against the Nashville Predators. What are some of the historically dominant sort of player versus team type of performances that you remember?
Well, that's outrageous. I didn't realize myself it was that many points. I mean, that might be setting records. I know Crosby, for example, has owned the Islanders over the years, and obviously Pittsburgh and New York have been in the same division, but he's got like over 100 individual points against that one team. There's certainly examples of that, but 41 in 16 games.
25 goals and 16 assists.
I'm guessing we don't have a stats department. We need to get, I want to find out like historically where that, honestly, I can't imagine averaging, 2+ 3 points a game almost against one team. That's nuts. And I'm sure, it's not like they have to circle his number when he comes in the room. But now you're right. If you're a Predators fan that's grown up in this era, you're probably going to be happy the day that you're done seeing Leon Draisaitl come through town. Yeah,
appropriate that it happened on Halloween because you are absolutely terrified if you're a Predators fan when you see that guy's jersey, aren't you? Like that's a sick number. Like that's the only way you can describe it. Like
right, it goes
beyond impressive.
I was going to say, the Predators aren't at their apex right now as an organization, but it's not like they've been terrible during, Leon's time in the NHL. That's the other factor here is that's a team that's, played a lot of playoff games. They're a playoff team last year. It's not as though he's beating up on this version of the Sharks every time or something like that. And so I don't know what it means. Like maybe he just likes the vibe. He gets into the country vibe there when he feels good when he goes to Bridgestone Arena. I know personally, I love going to Nashville for games. It's always it feels different than other places around the league, but he must have a tremendous amount of confidence after that kind of performance.
And it was probably easier, and we talked too off air that probably the first game without McDavid. And you're looking for guys to jump up into that McDavid type of role and fill shoes and such. Leon Draisaitl getting to play, again, his favorite team first game past that is quite a gift. I wanted to get your thoughts, too, and we talk about, guys having to step up and getting opportunity, I think a positive spin on it. And one Vasily Podkolzin has really taken his chances this year. The Oilers, every time they seem to drop the mitts, good things happen with this club, and the momentum kind of shifts and turns. But are your thoughts on him as kind of the Klim Kostin 2.0 for this team as it stands?
Well, I mean, it's the early returns I think have been pretty good. I don't know what your expectations were for him, but obviously, his career in Vancouver never really, took off. I know there was some hope there. He had some, fits and starts, but, sometimes that fresh opportunity can be helpful. And I think Podkolzin is probably, as he gets a little deeper in his career, he's getting a better understanding that, for him, it's not just about points, that he's got to find other ways to fill in around a lineup. I would think coming to a lineup like Edmonton's, he understands his role. Certainly, I mean, he can play up the lineup in a pinch when they need it, but, he's going to have to find ways to contribute. And so I wouldn't have had to fight card as being part of that, but, it's got to be whatever it takes, for him. He must feel like he's kind of fighting quite literally to stay in the NHL to some degree, just given the shock of being traded and, being with one organization prior to this one. So, I certainly see that as a possibility. And, the Oilers are a veteran team, which I think could be positive because he is still a relatively young player in the league finding his way. And, you can see just little things like that, help build team camaraderie. And I think for him, probably a bit of a shot in the arm that he's able to contribute on a night that a lot of players did.
Some frightful scores around the entire NHL last night on a busy Thursday night. But if I'm a Bruins fan, that 8-2 drubbing at Carolina to finish off the month of October, if the alarm bells weren't ringing before, 3 goals in under a minute against, and overall just not a Boston Bruins-like team we're seeing right now. Are you hearing things coming out of Boston that they might be ready to address, obviously, some of their failings?
Well, naturally everything goes on the coach here, right? I mean, Jim Montgomery is known to be in the final year of his contract. Just the mere fact of that, makes it seem like the organization is taking time before deciding what his future looks like. I don't get the feeling it's a move management's inclined to make, but you do wonder, how much this can pile up before too much becomes too much. And, I think what's most concerning in Boston is that team for all the years. I mean, look, they've cycled through a lot of players. They've managed to move beyond the Zdeno Chara and Patrice Bergeron, David Krejci, a lot of players that were part of their success for a long time. And they've always played a very strong team game. That they've sort of kept an identity even without some of their prior stars. And this year, that just for whatever reason has failed them. And they lost 2-0 to Philadelphia earlier this week. Philadelphia being one of the weaker teams in the league. They had a lot of sort of what I would say, just owning it quotes after that game and in the gear up for, this is an important one against Carolina. Carolina, obviously, at the other end of the NHL standings, off to a great start this season, and to get hammered in the way they did last night. I mean, the heat could not be turned up any hotter, I would say, both for the coach in that situation, but just the organization in general, because, they did spend a lot of money in the offseason, made some big free agent signings. There's an expectation there that they're always going to be competitive. And, I don't think they're too far gone at this point. It's not as though saying they can't, get back and be a playoff team and be what they have, but they just have not looked like that. And we're coming up to almost a month into the season. So the short answer is I don't think they're going to change the coach, but I also don't know how much longer they can allow this to slide. And that's, I think where the discussion is at the management level on a day-to-day basis now is just trying to figure out how they can get out of this without maybe, making one of the bigger moves that might end up coming here.
EST Hockey Insider Chris Johnston joining us this morning, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Let's stay out east. A bit of more of a positive story, I guess, being the Washington Capitals. They just continue to win and maybe defy preseason expectations of this club, not lighting the world on fire in terms of the power play. Alex Ovechkin, another 3-point night for him, a goal and a couple assists. What's the ingredient and what's kind of cooking in the Capital when it comes to the Washington Capitals this season?
Well, I know that organization feels really good about its defensive core. You know, they have made some additions there and maybe a little below the radar. Last year they barely squeaked into the playoffs. It was almost in the East. It was like no one wanted that last playoff spot between Pittsburgh, Detroit, Washington. The Capitals claimed it, but it was a short, trip through the spring. They were pretty overmatched in the first round. But this offseason, they've had a mandate to try to stay as competitive as they can as long as they've got Alex Ovechkin on the roster. That's through at least next season for sure. And, obviously he's chasing down Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals record. So, they're trying without ever falling to the bottom of the league or doing what we might call a traditional rebuild to keep it going. And so far it seems to have worked. I think a lot of it is built on, defensive play and goaltending. But they still have, guys like Ovechkin that can put the puck in the net. It's not a star-studded at this point. I realize Ovechkin is a star in name quality, but he's 39 years old or 40 years old. He's almost my age and still in the league, and that's an accomplishment on its own. So, they're basically patching it together is what I'd say. I don't. It's probably a little hotter start than what their team will be ultimately.
Call
but
it the Pierre-Luc Dubois bump. Come on, I know you want it, right? Like,
well, I know they're really happy with him too.
Yeah.
I mean, of believe it or not, I think again, talk about a guy who's bounced around. But if he signs a big contract last year in LA, it's a total disaster for him, for the team, to the point they're trading him. If you're ever going to get scared straight, so to speak, or if that's going to get your attention, it'll be that. So. They found the right mix to start this year, and the East certainly is. I think beyond the very top teams, a bit of a toss-up, and so Washington looks like a strong start could be parlay them into another playoff run, which would be great. They're doing what Pittsburgh is trying to do with Crosby. They're trying to have a good end of the career for their legacy players, and they haven't been able to do it. But somehow Washington's kept the train on the track.
Crosby with a pair too last night, and kind of matching Ovi.
What's your take? Moving over to the Toronto Maple Leafs, an important 4-1 win last night. William Nylander, 2 goals. What's your take on his opinions about his ice time and that he wants to be used more? Is this going to be received by the coaching staff as constructive, or is it going to be seen as him speaking out of turn?
I think it'll be seen as him speaking out of turn. I mean, the fact that he wants more ice time, that does not separate him among NHL players. There's players in every locker room around the league that are having those kind of discussions with their coaching staff every day. Like it is a normal part of the business. I think what's abnormal is to say it in the media. Yeah. Especially, a Canadian market, any place that gets a lot of eyeballs and attention. I mean, that quote is going to be, written in bold point and brought up again and again. And, I don't think he misspoke.
Oh, looks like he froze up.
A bit of a freeze. Nope.
Oh, am I back?
Yep. Now you're back. Yep.
I was going to say, I don't know how calculated it was, but he was pretty calm when he said it. Like didn't get the sense he didn't mean to say it. And, we've actually seen Nylander and Craig Berube on the ice a fair bit after morning skates, having like rather animated on ice discussions. And, I think we're getting a bit of a window here into what's going on. And, for some of the context here, the 2 interesting points to me. Craig Berube is a new head coach in this situation, obviously brought in to shake some things up, make changes, try to get the Leafs places they haven't been. William Nylander's at the start of an 8-year deal that pays him $11.5 million. And in terms of leverage, both of the key players here feel that they have a lot, right? I mean, Nylander, the team's made this huge commitment to him. He clearly wants to be a difference maker. He's among their leading scorers. He's actually had a nice start to the year, but his minutes are down 2 minutes per game from last season, and he's not happy about that. So, I don't know how this resolves itself. It probably helps that after he made those comments, he scores 2 goals in a game, because it takes, maybe some of the wind out of that story, at least locally here in Toronto. But, you can be sure that's going to be brought up again. If he's struggling, if his minutes don't increase, the fact he's aired that publicly, I'm sure the team wasn't too happy.
The perception outside of Toronto has always been that it felt like the tail was wagging the dog, as far as it felt like there was that core group of players that were calling the shots rather than their coach calling the shots. This doesn't allay that at all, does it? It just adds to that perception.
No, but Craig Berube is not someone
Right.
who has anyone, I mean, what's great about Craig, I think, is that he's very to the point. There's no games. There's no mind games. I mean, this isn't like Mike Babcock back in the day. This is, he will just call it as it is. And even when he was asked about this by the reporters after Nylander's comment, he's just basically like, I give out ice time as it's deserved. And I don't care. I don't mind that he wants more, but basically he's basically saying he doesn't deserve more ice time than what he gets. He plays a lot already as it is. So, you're right that that's the outside perception. But I do think Berube is the kind of coach that isn't going to be pressured. I don't think he cares that I might be talking about this all day or writing about it in his marketplace. I think he's just going to coach the team the way he thinks is best. And so, it's really up to players like Nylander and any of the other Leafs that have been around a long time, I think, to find their best within that new structure. I mean, that's ultimately what they're left to do. And, what it comes back to for me is we've always wondered about this team, like they're imbalanced, right? It felt like they were paying too much to the top players, not because those guys individually aren't worthy of that, but like, can you build a team and a cap with this? The flip side of that is when you pay players that much, they do expect to play a lot. Well, William Nylander's on the Leafs second line.
Froze again. He'll come back. I have faith.
Most places around the league, William Nylander would be a first-line player, but he's not in Toronto because they have other guys in Marner and Matthews that play above him. So, it's still kind of, to me, it gets back to that root issue is they might be a little too imbalanced. Maybe there's a way to spread things around with their roster, but it is what it is right now. And they're 11 games into an 82-game season where I don't think anything profoundly will change with the Leafs before next offseason. And so William Nylander and Craig Berube let's see if they can make it work, I guess is the best way to put it.
Chris Johnston, we appreciate your time this morning. I think that's as much Leafs talk as this listener base can digest, especially after Halloween. But you're getting a lot of love. We appreciate your analysis and your insight, and you're getting a lot of love for the Tootsie Roll love as well. An outstanding, maybe underrated candy, but it's delicious.
Yeah, another
long
dentist's
form,
favorite.
short form.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're all terrible for you. But good job on the Tootsie Rolls, and thanks again for your time today, Chris.
No problem. I did eat a couple last night before bed, so
You're forgiven. It's all good. I don't mind the pop too, like the sucker. Yeah, you get to the center, right? And it's got the candied treat inside.
Yeah, that's a nice combination, right?
Crunch.
Like cherry flavored, followed by what?
A nice,
the heck
yeah.
is this?
It's not chocolate, but it's that's good.
Yeah, that's exactly what Tootsie Roll. That's their flavor, not chocolate.
Yeah, great commercials too with the owl,
Yeah, right, there you go.
Amishman19 says, CJ, what a great ad on the regular. I'd have to agree. He has been outstanding this season, and long may it continue for this NHL season. Chris Johnston, once again, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Have the boys at Pro-Am sew a name and number on your jersey, current name, legends, or even your own. Visit them in-store to get it sewn up. Located corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca. And you like to think maybe, as much as people like to hate on the Leafs, Craig Berube might be that one to
Local boy.
finally crack the code and solve
boy,
things.
if anyone's going to do it, he will.
He's the one that'll do it. It's about time somebody from out here went out east.
That's right.
To do something,
To
right?
fix it.
Instead of
Finally.
everybody coming from out
The
east out
West
here to fix
wants
things. Yes.
in.
Yes. Get a seat at the table, damn it, right? 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. Let's get to your Cool Bet Canada hotline of the day as well. Jason the Acadian with a tidy parlay last night. I think it was a $3 bet. I think he was eating and drinking for free last night. Let's just put it that way at the casino with a three prop parlay. But once again, the full slate of Week 9 games in the National Football League is up. Also, a little CFL action for you. You got the divisional semifinals tomorrow. Taking a quick look at that, it looks like the Argonauts minus 303 on the money line, 6.5-point favorites at home over the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Wow.
Big number. These two teams haven't met in the play. I know it's a 9-team league, sometimes 8.
They've
but
never met?
since like the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, they met, but it's been a long time. You would wager and you would argue. Ottawa hasn't been in the league a bit.
If it's since the 90s, then they've never met. That was the Rough Riders.
Or Renegades, late 90s, early aughts type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Ottawa-Toronto meeting in a playoff game, it's kind of weird to think about that. But minus 6.5 for the Argonauts at home. You can jump on that, maybe Ottawa plus 6.5. And then the second half of the afternoon will be the Rough Riders at home to the Lions. -3 now for the Rough Riders and -182 on the money line. A little bit of a tighter affair there in Regina between those two Western rivals. So hop on, whether it's the National Football League, the Canadian Football League, get your football fix up at coolbet.com. Stay cool, bet responsibly with our partners up at CoolBet. Let's get to the keyword. Trev, if you're ready, you got the sheet over there. We're going to get you your next chance to qualify. It's the EST Flyway to LA, brought to you by our great friends and sponsors at the 780. I had the shirt on the other day, but visit them online. The word 7, the numbers 80.com. Local shop right here in the city, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand, celebrating all things unique to E-Town. They partner with close to 100 local vendors. So hop on into one of those shops, whether it's Southgate Mall, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, or the Outlet Mall by the airport. You never know what you're going to find in there. And again, I've always said, if you need to get something for somebody and you don't know what to get, pop into a 780 shop and you'll find something you never knew existed. That's just kind of thing. And you're supporting local, so it's great as well. 780, the word 780.com is where you can check them out. The EST Flyway to LA, Warriors Clippers at the
Into it.
Cardinals, Rams, SoFi, and Edmonton taking on one of LA or Anaheim in hockey action. You get the sports, you get the flights, the hotel, and the ever-popular rental car that you can just beg the piss out of. Hey, drive I want nuts. I'm not encouraging that. It's just a funny thought on a Friday. But we always love the old place when we had these contests, the rental car. It was always, it was always you go for the Masters, but you get that rental car.
It feels very much like my parents going on vacation.
They don't care about the bright lights and the big prize. It's
but it also doesn't matter where they go.
It's the gas mileage.
They're
on
like,
this thing.
well, we need a rental. I just a summer ago, the whole family went to Chicago, and it drove me crazy. Chicago, if you've ever been, has completely accessible public transit. Like if you can't walk, you can find an L train
and works well.
You.
Hey, like
right,
it's
exactly.
yeah, that's the benefit
schedule,
of
It is not expensive. Not only that, but like parking anywhere in downtown Chicago is like $50. Like it's just and yeah, sure enough, my folks. Wow, we need the rental car, and I was just like, it just drove me nuts. Like, wow. I don't know if we can afford this vacation. Rental car fees are just too high, and it could be a deserted island.
Yeah,
it could be paradise, and if the rental car is a little shady, they'll be like, I think we'll pass. The
planes, trains, and automobiles always wipe that stupid effing smell of your stupid effing rosy cheeks. So be by your phone right now. Text 780-218-9999. Once you text this keyword in, stay by the phone. Don't turn it off. You might be getting a call from YouTube Trev. We'll bring you on, and you'll be the next qualifier in the EST Flyway to LA. The word is up. The word is huge. The word is no. Go.
Oh, you got
do
it?
your thing. I did mine. You do yours.
Oh, okay. Well, mine was close. I was on the right.
Okay.
He likes the Rouge. He comes up huge. Nasties right now. Text in Nuge.
Nuge. Kind of like on the candy, nougat. You can kind of, it comes from the word nougat. Right?
We call it a word, but it's not a word.
This is Maddie. Maddie, well, I mean, if you're going by the English, right?
It's not a word. It's not even an actual name.
Nuge. Country of origin, I guess.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
could you use it in a sentence?
Yeah. Central Alberta would be the Nuge. N-U-G-E. Nuge. Yeah. Nuge.
It's like nudge, but without the D.
Yeah. Get the D out.
That's exactly
it. Nuge. Text in Nuge. 780-218-9999.
Double check that text because the
you're right.
Spell check
actually
will correct it to nudge.
I want to really trying to screw you on this one. Everybody's going to get it auto-corrected, right? Like that's going to be, you're going to have to work for this. Yeah, see, you're getting in, somebody text in bugs.
Bugs.
I mean, sure. This isn't a speed game today. This is an accuracy shooting.
You are going to need to triple check it because you're going to correct it, and that spell check's going to still
and then you
change
hit a space, and it'll go right back to the original word. Yeah, Nuge, N-U-G-E. Wow, Maddie, you've done it again.
Backspace.
You sly dog. Yeah, Bugs. Bugs is coming in a lot. I got Hugs. That's coming in. God, I love this. Nuge, 780-218-9999. Be by your phone now. YouTube Trev's going to give somebody a call in a matter of minutes. He's going to hit a sports update first, though, courtesy our great friends at Park Mazda. Once again, be by the phone. Text in Nuge, 780-218-9999. The Fan Zone coming up next. Fans first. And Herm Edwards, we hope, will be joining us at around 7:40 Mountain Time. Are we still? Yeah. Yeah. It's we'll see about that.
It'll
Herm
happen
Edwards,
or it won't.
Sure, yeah, but
Listen.
whether it does or doesn't, it'll be brought to you by Pro Am Sports.
We'll be here. Okay.
Well, look, do we need an extra person to break down last night's game?
It couldn't hurt though.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. It does hurt. We should have just talked about that. That hurts. Be by your phone right now. Text Nuge 780-218-9999. Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser, and for Dustin Nielsen, it's the Nielsen Show, brought to you by Southport Chevrolet here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Take it away, Trev.
Last night, Leon Draisaitl with 2 goals and an assist as the Oilers dumped the Preds 5-1. Zach Hyman and Victor Arvidsson also recording their first goals of the season, while Noah Philp records his first NHL point in his first NHL game. Oilers return home and will visit the Flames Sunday night, puck drop at 6 p.m. Elsewhere in the NHL, Alex Ovechkin scored along with 2 assists as the Capitals double up the Habs 6-3. The Sharks edge the Blackhawks 3-2. Sidney Crosby scored twice as the Penguins got past Anaheim 2-1. Hurricanes all over the Bruins 8-2. Leafs top the Kraken 4-1. And Philly over the Blues 2-1. Today in the NHL, puck drop at noon from Finland. The Stars battle the Panthers. And then 5 games dot the schedule later tonight. Over to the NFL, the Jets top the Texans 21-13 to snap a 5-game skid in the association. Victor Wembanyama with 25 points, 5 blocks, and 5 steals as the Spurs top the Jazz 106-88. Suns improved to 4-1 with a 125-119 win over the Clippers. The Rockets defeat the Mavs 108-102, while the Bucks have dropped 4 straight following a 122-99 loss to the Grizzlies. And the Raptors are back home to host the Lakers tonight in one of 9 games around the association. The Sports Update is brought to you by the great staff and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. Mitch promises that you can own one of his vehicles, just like Leon Draisaitl owns the Nashville Predators.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.36. It is the Nielsen Show, Edmonton Sports Talk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and on YouTube. Kind of
That's my favorite tune, by the way. That when we come back from that
from the musical bank.
It makes me think
The Nielsen Show.
roller rink.
That's where it takes you.
Yeah, it
wow,
takes me to like,
interesting.
Yeah, old school high cut boot roller skates. I'm doing duck hunt. I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm pulling off all the moves.
Rod Black was a roller rink type of guy out in Winnipeg.
What do you mean was? What do you mean was?
A little roller jam on TNN
Yeah,
for you.
that's right.
The nasty chat's been a little disregarded this morning. I do know that Sarah Coles is looking for a Craig Button OnlyFans account. Is that kind of what I'm picking up here? It's kind of going off the rails on the YouTube right now. It's
Wow.
It is a Friday.
I mean, if you find it, send us the link.
Wouldn't mind. We are changing a 100 as well.
Changing 100.
There we go. He didn't sleep well last night. Okay, so go take it easy on YouTube, Trev.
Well, and he's still coming off the high of the
He's-
candy
yeah,
corn. Do you want more of this? You want a little more jitter?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm
I
going
think
to
you need a
pop
little
one
bit more
more
of
here,
that.
actually, to be honest. You know what I like to do is put one in the lip and let it melt.
had a cribbage tournament going on.
Well, that's...
And
come on now.
They were up. They were noisy.
3 a.m.
Yeah, he had to go up and say, "Can you guys keep it down?" He went full Ross from Friends. He was
had
just
to.
like,
Keep it down.
"Guys, just
Keep it down.
Not long now, Trev.
Yep.
oh."
Count the minutes. The
Actually,
seconds.
Zinn candy
Maybe an
corn,
upper
that-
decker.
there's-
Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, yeah. You
there's
get that
a product ideal for
release
you.
pouch.
Yeah.
This is... You can suck on it all day, and you get a little treat every second here, every time you...
Little Rasputin there. Yeah.
Yep. Congratulations to Norman Combine. He was the winner last night at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge of the Aaron Rodgers home jersey, as he picked correctly on the scoreboard. Just tweeted out a picture of him. And the gang, thank you for joining me last night. It was a Halloween to remember down at Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. You can join me back there every Monday and every Thursday for NFL action, as we will recap last night's game. We have to. And set up the rest of the Week 9 slate with Herm Edwards coming up just near the top of this hour. The Fan Zone for Fans first, and YouTube Trev's going to call somebody once again. Be by your phone if you text in Nuge. Not Hugs, not Bugs, or anything else. Nuge. And we'll qualify somebody for the EST Flyway to LA.
Ryan Nugget Hopkins.
The Fan Zone for Fans first.
Fan Zone.
Will, I wanted to get into this NHL Global Series.
Shell.
You are a... You like to stay hip, don't you? Like, you know,
I do. Listen,
you do. The glasses, the whole bit. Like,
there's
you're kind of
nothing hipper than a 24-year married father of two 47-year-old. Yeah.
The Fan Zone. Have your say on the Fan Zone. Whatever you want to talk about. It's for fans first. By fans, for fans. No fees as well. Get your Oilers tickets all season long at www.fansfirst.ca. Dallas and Florida today. The Global Series continues from Finland. That's in noon puck drop Mountain Time. How excited are you for these Global Series games?
I'm actually pretty excited. I like Global Series. I like
it's something different
I like
to see,
best
right?
on best.
Yeah.
I like it when guys that are bitter rivals become teammates. I'm entertained by all of it. I like it when teammates have to become bitter rivals as well. So I sometimes we forget what the purpose of sport is supposed to be, which is entertainment, right? We think it has to be some sort of cultural significance or whatever, but sometimes it's supposed to just distract you from whatever is going on in your life that you need distraction from. And it will deliver with spades.
Yeah, look.
And not only that, but it'll be a reason for you to get together with friends. And not take it that seriously. Like, that's the other thing. Like, having experienced the long playoff run here in Edmonton last spring, it would be nice to not feel like it is life and death, but yet still have a reason to get together, enjoy a game, and then go home and not cry about it. So, listen, I know some Hockey Canada fans will treat it like life and death, but I would expect most of us will treat it for what it truly is, which is entertainment.
Now you're talking Four Nations?
Yes.
I'm talking about the Panthers Stars in Finland later this
I'm
afternoon.
so sorry. I misunderstood.
Because the way you were talking, I was like, wow. Well, you really...
Well, listen.
Getting together with friends for this one,
listen, some of
you
it still
can,
applies
but sure.
in that it gives you a reason to watch something that you don't have to be life and death about. Right?
And getting together with friends. I know you're going to have a massive watch party this afternoon.
This is definitely watch it on your phone while you're on the toilet. But
this goes to my point. And do you think that the NHL, because again, YouTube Trev had the snide remark too this morning that, you know, you don't really hear, this isn't stuff that's kind of pumped up in your face. It's big for Finland. It's big for Tampere, Finland. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Finnish players dotting both rosters today, the Panthers and Stars. Great for them. But what crank is it supposed to turn for a North American NHL fan, if any, maybe? Maybe I'm missing the entire point of the global.
I don't think it's about the North American NHL fan. I think this is about cultivating a growth of your league in Europe. Right? Very similar to when EPL franchises play friendlies in North America. That has nothing to do...
Friendlies, though.
Right? But that has nothing to do with the premiership, right? It has everything to do with making sure that a kid who is 6 years old owns a Manchester United kit in Boston or whatever.
But at what point do you sacrifice home games? And I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty much play half of their home schedule now in London. I know their fan base isn't one that you would argue is the most populous, and you know, so whatever. But they have been talking about maybe Barcelona playing a regular La Liga game.
Yep.
Not friendly. The preseason tours are one thing that soccer fans can. Okay, it's off season. You know, maybe we'll follow our team around the globe and do whatever. But the mere thought of Barcelona playing a regular La Liga game in Miami has people tearing their hair out in the soccer world of what's to come. Because again, it's one thing to do a preseason where nothing's on the line and matters. But, if the Oilers took out a couple of home games and took them across the pond, I mean,
that's a little different to me. In the reason why they're doing that is because money talks.
Money talks. But at what point does this all happen and you play your old games around the world?
They know that they can get triple their ticket price if they play it in Miami than if they play it in Spain.
But at the cost for the fan. Again, the true fan, the true supporter of the home.
Yeah.
I know this is a business, and I know you're going to tell me it just sucks.
Actually, it's not because it's a business. It is because it's an addiction.
Yeah.
When you're talking about a team like that, they know they have a fan capital to burn, right?
Yes.
Like it's not like you're going to have anyone in Spain being like, well, that's it. They just lost me as a fan. Like, they may be upset, they may riot, but they're still going to love that team and show up for it no matter what.
Sure.
It's an insult to them. Yeah, absolutely it is. But that's what drug dealers do. They insult their users, and that's the level of fandom there that you can abuse it because it will always be there.
I think if you're going to have these global series, and I get the point, growing the game, all things like that, they can have a preseason.
Yeah.
Leave the regular season alone.
I'm just saying that that's different. That's about money. That's about being able to make more money playing in Miami than you can in front of your home crowd. It's a little different. Like, there's a reason why the Oilers are not going to Finland.
Sure.
Right? It's because the league asks and they go, this is how much it costs.
You're going to get the Jaguars. You're going to get the Panthers. You're going to get the...
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to get the lower ticket price teams.
But I still, to defend the fan bases of those teams, again, albeit not at the top echelon of what you would rank fan bases, leave the regular season alone. I would maintain that if you want a taste, if you want to grow this is a sample. You don't go to Costco and they give you the full rotisserie chicken. You get a sample, right?
Yeah,
and that's how it should be.
But on the flip side, if I'm an international fan, I want to see the real thing. I don't want to see a simulation.
But then the real thing can be the Oilers and the best player on earth. Like how close do you get to the real?
No,
right?
I completely agree. But once again, like, you're not going to pay whatever it costs for lost home revenue for the Oilers.
Yeah.
The Oilers are a big money franchise, right? So, likewise, you're not going to do that to the Toronto Maple Leafs because the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be like, this is how much we would lose. So you write us the check, we'll go.
But then it's a slap in the face to, like, you're not giving us the best. You're giving us a, because if you want to grow it,
you're
grow
giving them the real thing.
The real thing, but it's,
But you're right. You're not giving them the
So
elite.
then just stick it to the preseason. That's all. Leave the regular season alone. If we're going to half-ass it.
Under the drug dealer analogy,
I really like where you're going.
What you're trying to do is get someone hooked with but
you give them a real good taste, and then
you give them the taste of the real thing, but you're not giving them the highest quality. That's what they have to come back and pay for, right? So,
but if you just gave them a taste of that first, then you've got them.
Listen, I know. I think it's a fair back and forth. Like, I don't know.
We have two different ways of dealing.
I don't know if there is a right answer to it. But I understand why they listen. You're not making money. Like, the fact that they're in Finland actually doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, it's a small country.
Mm-hmm. They already like their hockey.
They already like hockey.
Yeah.
It's not like you're turning it into a $1 billion
should be in Portugal
business.
or something, right? Like, or whatever.
Well,
fill in the blank.
It should be in an area where there is more people and more money, right? So be that London, be that Amsterdam, like take your pick.
That would be fun.
Of where it is. Finland's not it. Finland is where you have quote unquote true hockey fans, and so you can appreciate that. But
they're already hooked.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. They're already they're already mainlining it, right? So.
That's the fan zone for Fans First, by fans for fans, no fees, www.fansfirst.ca. Trev, we got somebody on the line.
Yes, we do. This is Dustin.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Dustin with a Y or an I?
With an I. You ask me every time, but I think I might change my name to have a Y.
Well, we do have listeners. That spell it with a Y. I just wanted to make sure you weren't the other Dustin from last night. Have you been to LA? Congratulations for qualifying. Have you been to La La Land before?
Thank you. Yeah, I have a couple times, and it's a great time.
Do you have anything to say to Dustin, Will? I mean, any advice on this trip or any questions that you have for the guy with an eye?
Well, just who is he looking to high five if he can at the basketball game? Just Steve Ballmer?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yes, yeah. Like, do celebrities go to Clippers games or?
Mine are like
sure.
B.
It's not Lakers. It's like, you're like all the Seans
It'll
and everything.
Be Bruce Campbell that you'll meet. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe one of the Oilers have to go to it if I don't know what the schedule's like. But
Okay.
if it's the day before.
I take it you're looking forward to the hockey game the most or something else? The rental car?
I haven't been to an NFL game, so that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Rams and Cardinals. You got Clippers, Warriors, and Edmonton taking on one of LA or Anaheim. If you do win, Dustin, who would you bring with you? You got somebody special in your life?
Gotta ask the wife first, of course, if she wants to watch 3 sports games in 4 or 5 days. If not, maybe the dad or brother.
Love that. Keeping it in the family. Well, Dustin, you're a step closer. Once again, you can qualify as many times as possible. We thank you for your time. Have a great weekend, and good luck.
You as well. Thanks.
There it is, Dustin with an I. Your next chance to qualify between 9 and 11 on the EST Hangout this morning. The glue guy will be in, Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanek, and whomever else wants to just hang out. You can always bust in there, too.
Is it Dustin with an I or a Y? Actually, it's an O-N-E. It's Dustone.
Dustone. He'd fit right in down and out. I like the B-list Clippers game celebrities. Fill out your front row there. Right?
Text us your favorite B-list celebrity who will be at the Clippers game.
Sean Austin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That type of thing. Like, on the camera. It's Hollywood Sean Austin. Yeah. God, I love that. That's the EST Flyway to LA. Once again, 9 to 11 today on the Hangout. Your next chance and throughout the day. Keywords. The fatty. It does the wave or whatever. Do we have Herm? Have we secured him? Like they were catching passes last night on Thursday Night Football.
We had him.
We had him?
And I just got an email.
We let him off the hook.
I tried to join. I heard the show, but I don't know if they knew that I was waiting to get on the show. And so I just responded back saying, yes, they were just about to bring you on.
Okay.
Shall I call him?
Yeah.
We can give him a quick call. Sure. Let's get him on the line here.
1 sec.
Great. Super.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good.
Well, we'll keep it nice and short here with Herm Edwards, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. But we won't spend too much time maybe on last night's game. Kind of dive into the Week 9 slate. Anywhere he wants to go with that would be nice as well. But Herm Edwards, the coach, hopefully we get him snag him down for a little bit of time this morning. Always some interesting games. Always some games at this stage of the season, especially Week 9, that you can maybe gloss over. Some divisional matchups as well this weekend. Bills hosting the Dolphins. Tua is back. You got the Cowboys visiting the Falcons. Ravens looking to get back in the win column. They're at home to a stingy Broncos team that's kind of been kicking around and hanging around. The Colts going back to Joe Flacco as well. Hey, Anthony Richardson, take a seat, son. Jamarcus Flaxen, as they've been calling him. Hey, yeah. Or Jamar Flaxen. Yeah, that's the...
Yeah. Joe Flacco watched the end of the Bears-Commanders game last week and was like, hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want to see a Hail Mary throw. That's all I got.
That'll be your Sunday nighter. Vikings at home to the Colts. Packers and Lions as well. A delicious matchup Sunday afternoon.
The matchup of the weekend,
that is the one that you've got circled. Hey, and Chiefs Buccaneers on your Monday nighter. The Chiefs look to remain undefeated as well. Herm Edwards just getting connected here, but yeah, Lions Packers. That's what's sticking out to you the most. I mean, that division is
that NFC
full
North
price.
is the best division in football, and it's not even close.
Not even close.
And the Lions are the second best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
and it's not
overall,
even close.
And
division rivals going head to head to kind of set the table on the second half of the season.
Yeah, and your Bears, too. I mean, a heartbreaking loss last week in the fashion that it was.
That's a tough one to get over,
but
man.
still 4-3. They visit the Cardinals this week, and you can still kind of keep pace within the division there.
But that's a real tough loss. And for a young team to come off of a loss like that, you could see a real letdown from the Bears.
Okay, let's get to Herm Edwards real quickly, and we appreciate his time. Herm, thank you so much for joining us again. It's brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. You don't have to take a lot of time to wrap up last night's game if you don't want to, but I know a team that's near and dear to you, the Jets, winning actually last night, snapping that skid of theirs. That was a bumbling and fumbling affair on a Thursday night, or was it not?
Yeah, Yeah, it was bad football, to say the least. As good as the record of Houston was, it was 6-2. Both these teams come in here, and I always look at the discipline of teams. Going into this game, Houston had 61 penalties, and the Jets had 63. They didn't let us down last night because both of them went over 70 fouls. It was a little bit of a sloppy game, I thought, in the first half. And then the second half, I thought the Jets really kind of showed the team they're capable of becoming. Garrett Wilson obviously had a big night. Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers kind of found his way. And their defense played really good. The Jets defense. I mean, they got after him pretty good. They had 8 sacks last night. And then they were able to run the football and really the second half shut them out. I mean, beat them 14-3, and that was the game.
The Sunday nighter is going to be Colts Vikings, but we were just talking about it. To us, the marquee matchup of Sunday is going to be Lions versus Packers. That's going to be the game of the week, is it not?
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it's a division now that you look at, and Detroit. I mean, some would say right now, the way they're playing, they might be the hottest and the best team on the NFC side of it all. And the Green Bay Packers, obviously, they've got 4 wins in a row. The Lions have 5 wins in a row. It's a division game, and you can't count out the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are sitting there at 5-2, and they lost a couple now in a row, but they were rolling. They were undefeated until somebody beat them. And then Chicago's getting better. Caleb Williams looks like the guy that they anticipated when they drafted him. And so this is a fun division to watch. Maybe the best division in football right now.
Yeah, Vikings hosting the Colts, and Joe Flacco, of course, assuming the reins there for Indy in that Sunday nighter. Let's stick in the NFC. What do you think Jaden Daniels' next trick is going to be as he takes on a Giants team this weekend?
Well, Giants, Giants are playing better on defense. Their problem is, they can't score a lot of points. And Washington is one of those teams. They're scoring a lot of points. And Jaden Daniels, I talk to him once a week. I mean, he's excited about their football team. He seems to get better every week. And the pressure of winning is not going to bother him. I had him in college, and he loves the competition of it all. And he's playing at obviously Rookie of the Year pace. But, I mean, if he continues to play the way he's playing, he's going to get some votes for the MVP of the league.
Denver, Baltimore, 2 5-3 teams going head-to-head to start things off on the Sunday. Derrick Henry, 54 yards away from 1,000 on the season already. That's can't-miss television, isn't it?
It is. And Denver quietly is playing pretty good. They've won 2 in a row. Sean Payton started a rookie quarterback. Their defense is really, really good. And Baltimore's defense is not what it used to be, but their offense, you just mentioned it with Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and, the 2 tight end combination they have. And you think about Baltimore, they were running hot there for a minute, and then all of a sudden they got beat. And now they've got to find their way. All of a sudden the Pittsburgh Steelers have won 3 in a row. And with no one's talking about it a whole lot with Russell Wilson playing quarterback, and all of a sudden they look a little bit better, Steelers. So this division is interesting. The Cincinnati Bengals are wounded a little bit in the fact they don't have a runner. Their runners with Houston now mix, and it seems like they put all the burden on the quarterback, and that's tough at times. And then Cleveland obviously is struggling in this division.
Well, I just want to get your thoughts, too, on the Steelers, and I guess we should be too surprised. This is what they do, and now you see the Ravens trying to keep pace with them. A stingy defense. You got some options at quarterback for Pittsburgh. How serious, though, should we take them in this iteration of the Pittsburgh Steelers this season?
Well, I think the whole key with the Pittsburgh Steelers was the fact they couldn't score points, and now with Russell Wilson, that has changed. They have the ability to score points, put points on the board. We knew they had a good running game. They got an outstanding defense, one of the best defenses points allowed in the league. And now with Russell Wilson able to, put points on the scoreboard, I mean, all of a sudden, the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to have to deal with them because they know how to win. But when you can't score points in the NFL, it makes it very difficult. And now they have the ability to do that with Russell Wilson playing quarterback.
The Kansas City Chiefs will host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the Sunday nighter. You like them to remain undefeated? I mean, they are finding ways to win, albeit Mahomes continuing to toss picks. But you like the Chiefs to come out of this one unscathed yet again?
Well, eventually I think they're going to lose the game. This could be the week. Tampa's kind of one of those teams you fall asleep on a little bit, and I don't think that people are giving obviously Baker Mayfield enough credit. I mean, he is playing at a high level. I mean, you scratch your head every week, you're saying, well, the shoe's going to fall off. It hasn't fell off yet. I mean, he's got almost 20 touchdown passes, and that's Baker Mayfield. And their defense is pretty good. I mean, Todd Bowles does a nice job of really presenting problems to offensive lines and to the coordinators in the fact that, he has a package of pressures that he's going to bring. So it'll be interesting to see how they play the Chiefs.
Herm, we appreciate your time, man. Apologies for the little scheduling mishap here, but as always, enjoy the full slate of games Week 9 and the college football variety as well. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
My pleasure, man. Nice talking to you.
There you go.
Thanks,
That's
Herm.
the coach, Herm Edwards. He's brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist. Check out the selection of signed NFL memorabilia, including names like Patty Mahomes and Joe Montana. St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca.
Here's my power stat for you. The Baltimore Ravens currently on the season, 8 games in, are averaging 200 yards rushing per game.
That's it? I thought that'd be higher.
Yeah. 200 yards on average. Just a beast of an offensive team.
But Denver, and I'm glad you asked that question because they've just been sticking around. They had that stinker game against the Jets where they registered, 10 passing yards, and they ended up winning. It's
a good head coach.
Yes. But the Ravens, all that hype, you mentioned the numbers, and that's all good. Mm-hmm. But when does it turn for them like it normally does? I know playoffs is a time too, but maybe that comes earlier this year. And the numbers are great. Great regular season, very entertaining to the eye. And I know we've all said maybe they found that missing piece, that running back that can complement that offense. But I just have a hard time. It's kind of the same where I'm at with the Steelers is I'm finding it hard to be a believer.
No, I think you're right to be cautious.
Yes.
And it's the same way that you should be cautious when you're in a 14-year-old sports car, right? Man, it can go 0 to 60 in 5 seconds.
It's all great.
Everything's great, but it's a 16-year-old sports car, right? Do you really trust those brakes going into a corner?
Yeah.
Do you I mean, Derrick Henry is having a season for the ages, but that is not a young man. That is a man. That is a running back with
and that's your point of caution there, exactly.
Right? And it's the same. I mean, even their starting quarterback, Lamar Jackson, he is listed as questionable. with his back. Yeah. So I mean, this is,
and that doesn't mysteriously go away even if he plays. He's healthy. It's all good.
This is a prolific offense with every reason to wait for the shoe to drop. It is not dropping yet.
No, but when is that hour, right?
You should keep your eye open for it.
Yeah, and again, I just find as these numbers continue to get built up, it gets a little more tight because you're like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's going so great.
Yeah.
They're finally there. They've arrived.
Yeah. But for how long?
Oh, it'll be interesting. Week 9 in the NFL, and we thank the coach Herm for his time. It's Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen today, and YouTube Trev with the sports updates here. We're going to have one right now for the fine folks at Claiborne Services. Coming up in hour number 3, kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many. If you want to play trivia right now, text in 780-218-9999. I want to play. Text it in right now, and we'll select a lucky texter to play for Mr. Mike's. That Hurts and Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, all coming up ahead of the wrap in hour number 3. This is the Nielsen Show, presented by South Fort Chevrolet on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Last night, Leon Draisaitl with 2 goals and an assist as the Oilers dumped the Preds 5-1. Zach Hyman and Victor Arvidsson also recording their first goals of the season, while Noah Philp records his first NHL point in his first NHL game. Oilers return home and will visit the Flames Sunday night, puck drop at 6 p.m. Elsewhere in the NHL, Alex Ovechkin scored along with 2 assists as the Capitals double up the Habs 6-3. The Sharks edged the Blackhawks 3-2. Sidney Crosby scored twice as the Penguins got past Anaheim 2-1. Hurricanes all over the Bruins 8-2. Leafs topped the Krakens 4-1, and Philly over the Blues 2-1. Today in the NHL, puck drop at noon from Finland. The Stars battle the Panthers, and then 5 games dot the schedule later tonight. Over to the NFL, the Jets topped the Texans 21-13 to snap a 5-game skid. In the association, Victor Wembanyama with 25 points, 5 blocks, and 5 steals as the Spurs topped the Jazz 106-88. Suns improved to 4-1 with a 125-119 win over the Clippers. The Rockets defeat the Mavs 108-102, while the Bucks have dropped 4 straight following a 122-99 loss to the Grizzlies. And the Raptors are back home to host the Lakers tonight in one of 9 games around the association. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728. You got my neck.
Big shot off this stick of mine. I keep those lanes wide open all the time. Drysidle setting up shop, McDavid's flying. I'll hit the twine when I walk the line. As sure as new G is slick and Kane is tough. We're going all the way this year, enough is enough. And we can play 'em straight or we can play 'em rough. I'm feeling fine when I walk the line. You know I shoot that puck so very, very hard. The name on the back of my jersey says Bouchard. And we're gunning for first place, not a wild card. I'll hit the twine when I walk the line. Well, we're counting on our skill and not on luck. And it's gonna get real when they drop that puck. And we won't be done until we hoist the cup. I'll hit the twine when I walk the line.
All right, 8:06. It is the Nielsen Show. After Halloween, the tradition continues of tearing down the decorations like this. You should come in every November 1, and we kind of tear down during the show, piece by piece, albeit.
Well, knowing Dustin, he'll be sick again.
Defrocking.
Defrock.
Got it. It's Lieutenant Eric Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen, who is still under the weather, but hopefully it did get into his garb last night. Clark Griswold from Christmas Vacation, when he's up in the attic watching all those old film reels. And given his mood being sick, it kind of fit the character really well,
That's right.
I must say. So
Right.
top-notch quality there. I got to tell you, this candy corn's making me getting a little
Oh, really?
sick in the stomach
Oh,
here.
really? After you read the ingredients
At
it's
8:07
giving
in the
you a bit
morning.
of an upset stomach.
Yeah,
That's a shocker.
I think it's it's all of that tartrazine.
I'm pretty sure it's the paraffin.
Or the pork gelatin.
The pork gelatin.
I never knew pork gelatin.
That's a tough ingredient.
Yeah, The confectioner's shellac.
Shellac.
Sounds like something
Anything
you'd build
that
a...
says pork gelatin and shellac is probably not meant for human consumption.
But they're so good. But they're making me so bad. 8:07 in the morning, maybe not the best plan. Eh?
Yeah, you're like Homer with the cob collage.
Yeah, we got to clean this up, though, before Reed gets in here, because there was traces of peanuts, and we got to make sure.
Well, they're not. They have to say that because it was
the factory.
It was in a factory that contained peanuts.
But
it doesn't mean
you
they
never know.
contain peanuts.
I'm just saying.
It means they bumped up against one in the club.
780-218-9999. Text of the day still up for grabs. $20 to A&W. Hopefully, you took advantage of that sweet deal yesterday in the free kids meal for children under 12 for Halloween only. But we are back to the regular deal here for A&W. What's better than one A&W Mama Burger? Will?
8.
Yes. But for the purpose of this exercise, two. For only $9.99, you can enjoy them right now. Perfectly seasoned grass-fed beef patty topped with pickles, a slice of onion, ketchup, mustard, and teen sauce served on the toasted sesame seed bun. You can enjoy 2 of these delicious mouth-watering Mama Burgers for only $9.99 participating A&W restaurants today. Drive-thrus open 24 hours. So get your texts in. $20 to A&W still up for grabs, and we're coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. You could get, well, if you win the $20 to A&W, you can get... Yeah, you can get 4 with, yeah. Pay a little more, once again, Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week coming up. We have a gentleman joining us live in the studio. It'll be Rob Kowalczyk from Solutions Brewing out in Airdrie. We look forward to that. That hurts coming up as well for James H. Brown Injury Lawyers. And 3 questions to me. If you have any questions for Will, once again, or Trev, or anything just you'd like us all to kind of answer collectively, get them in 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. Trev, who's playing for Mr. Mike's Kind of Easy Trivia today?
Today, Travis is going to give it a go.
Travis, welcome into the program. Have you played Kind of Easy Trivia before?
I have not, no.
Oh, beauty, a first-timer.
First-timer.
Do you know how it works, though? Or?
You betcha. I listen every morning.
My man. Let the festivities begin, Travis. You're invited to Mr. Mike's Fiesta Fusion. Celebrate the flavors of their new Mexican and Spanish-inspired features like patatas bravas, the Fusion Feast platter, chili lime ribeye, feature drinks, and more. Plus, Travis, $1 from every feature entree sold will help nourish a hungry child through a local breakfast program in this community. Join the Fiesta Fusion today at Mr. Mike's. So you know how it goes. You need 3 out of 5. We'll start the long ticker after I read the first question. The question's, again, compiled by the one and only Wil Fraser this morning. So if you know the theme here going throughout the week, you should be able to get this puppy. Are you ready to go?
You betcha.
Travis, who had the first 2 goals for the Oilers last night? Who had 2 goals for the Oilers last night?
Leon Draisaitl.
Who won the NFL's Thursday Nighter, Jets or Texans?
The lowly Jets.
What local football club introduced their new team president yesterday?
The Double E.
Who missed all 5 shows this week?
The big man, Dustin Nielson.
Who didn't?
Wil Fraser.
He's going to Mr. Mike's. 5 out of 5.
I kind of thought he would say you.
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother. I've been looking forward to this moment my whole life. Excuse me, but I was just taking a shower. Tell me a little bit about Vincent.
Hard hit.
Was he a great athlete? Was he interested in chess and poetry? My name is Julius. My name is Julius. My name is Julius.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Trev, you can return fire if you want.
Did.
I mean,
He did.
Did he? Got
Hard shot.
Ooh, that.
Yeah.
You should probably tell HR Daddy about this. This will not stand.
Yeah.
Trev's throwing a candy corn around the office again.
Will not stand. That's correct. Yeah.
It was LTE. Will wasn't there Monday. Actually, great point. 4 out of 5.
It's a good point.
You could have picked one of Trevor or I. We've been here all
fishing
week.
For myself, actually.
I get that.
I was trying
and it might have been the easy answer. It was a bit of a trick question.
Yeah.
Because it was Dustin, and then so who's in for Dustin? He would trick you, but you're right. It was just the 2 of us on Monday's show. Oh, look out! Oh, that now he's giving you ammo again.
Why would you do that?
Bad toss.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
You're just gonna let that sit there, make him sweat, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah. Could be coming anytime.
Yeah.
Oh, almost in the pocket too. Look at this.
Yeah.
The war is on.
bad,
Well, now you're collecting ammo. I like this. Gotta tell you though, they're making me a little. Again, I keep eating them, and
this is shocking to me. This is shocking that the worst candy of Halloween would make your stomach upset.
Travis is off to Mr. Mike's. Congratulations. 4 out of 5, a corrected score for this morning. It is Lieutenant Eric, Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielsen, YouTube Trev, and they're having their candy wars here as the show trucks on. Time for 3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where dealer principal Mitch Lewicki always tosses candy corn at his employees throughout the year. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. This candy should be celebrated kind of 365.
Trust me, it'll last.
I know
it'll
it can last. Yeah, but you could have like different. You could have a candy heart for Valentine's.
Right.
Flowers for the spring. I don't know. Jimbo says they'll clog the Careful, they'll clog the instruments. The whole chip thing up the. Great Simpsons drop there from Jimbo. Text that in. You could be off to A&W.
That's right.
Yeah, just jealous here. Let's dive into the Paris Jewelers inbox. Rob from the Grove. Hey, LT. I'd like to know something, unless it was mentioned yesterday. What was YTT's costume going to be yesterday? Great question, and maybe that'll lead off 3 questions to me. Trev, I know that you were very excited for Halloween. You had this grand idea. Ultimately, it couldn't come to fruition for whatever reason. But then you really didn't want to tell us for some reason. Are you able to just let us know? Why not? You can't really tease us with that and then not do it. And then also, but like it's over now. The curtain's dropped. We're all done.
Possibility of me doing it next year.
Well, that's a long wait.
I hate to do that. This is the ultimate cliffhanger, but unfortunately, it'll be well worth the wait. And
it still can be done next year. Like this doesn't expire.
It with moving, Dustin not being able to be here, me doing sports updates. The person I don't know if they would have been able to do sports.
This is all
updates.
Dustin's fault, pretty much. That you couldn't celebrate.
That's kind of what I'm
Halloween.
going. Yeah, that's
So
kind of what I'm.
You're not going to tell us?
Nope. I'm sorry.
I just.
You honestly think anyone here is going to remember in a year's time what you said?
Yeah, no, and that's okay.
The ego on
Come
this kid.
on.
The ego.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Rob from the Grove wants to know. It's not for us. You can just tell him.
Oh,
Text him.
yeah. Maybe I'll
just text
one
him.
of the next
Here's
watch parties.
I will take the headphones out.
As will I.
You just whisper it into the mic.
Nope.
Okay?
No, I can't.
I'm not
I can't.
listening.
What?
You guys can hear
What?
more now.
I can't hear anything.
If anything. No, I feel bad. It didn't work out. I was pretty bummed out about the whole situation.
You're bummed out.
Did he say it yet?
Yeah, I was very bummed out because I didn't, obviously I was.
Just tell me.
We're bummed out.
Just
though.
tell me when I can put these back in. Has he said it?
I said it.
Yeah, it's been said.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
You missed
Nasties.
out.
Okay. All right.
I let you down, but it'll be well worth the wait.
Dustin let you down, and now you have to let other people.
Yeah,
down.
just
It
a
all goes back to
domino,
him.
just a
Let's-
domino
yeah, it's a domino
effect,
effect,
and
yeah.
then just so many things didn't
Stop the
work
slide,
out.
man. Take responsibility. Just tell us what it was.
No,
Do it.
you're throwing candy corn at me, sir. So no.
Sir.
Because this is going to stop the throwing?
Well, it might encourage more.
Exactly.
These are delicious.
Jeepers.
Question number 2.
That one had a ding on it.
Like Leon Draisaitl's second goal.
Oh.
Off the post.
That big flapper.
I'm going for the ankles now.
Who do you see winning in tomorrow's CFL divisional semifinals? Once again, Ottawa face Toronto in game number 1.
Yeah.
That's 1 o'clock Mountain at 4:30 Mountain, and we think Dustin Nielsen will be on the call, but BC visiting Saskatchewan. Pick your winners advancing to the finals.
Well, I'll
Straight up.
tell you this. After my insane prep when it comes to the CFL,
you don't need to go into detail.
I speak
Flip
with
a coin.
confidence when I tell you Saskatchewan and Ottawa will be
on the
advancing.
road, the Red Blacks.
Yeah.
Cutting the wood, the Red Blacks.
Red Blacks.
Remember in the copy, it's all goatee caps? Still do that.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the CFL talk. Once again, I don't know. Dusty should be in Regina. He was scheduled to do the call. We will see if...
Are you taking him out afterwards?
To Memories.
Are you?
That's where Glenn Suter likes to take
You're
him.
going
Memories.
to show him the town?
I do not need to. He will not want to be at the speed that we will currently be at down
or
in
on
Regina
the speed
tomorrow.
That we'll be on either. Yeah.
Quiet. Come on now. Question number 3. Which game are you not looking forward to most in this week's Week 9 of the NFL? You can't say last night. It's out of the question.
Yeah.
You mentioned...
I don't want to think about it.
Packers-Lions is kind of... You mentioned the marquee matchup, and from Lambeau as well.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get a little bit of a
I would say
dusting of snow.
Patriots-Titans is going to be just horrible to
Again,
watch.
they have such... That's the thing with the NFL is you can have a half slate of just garbage, but you can hide it with a couple of great marquee matchups,
And it is.
nobody
it is
gives
well
a
hidden. It's an 11 o'clock game.
Yep.
Right? Like
Beautiful.
There are better games to be watching.
Yeah.
Like Dolphins, Bills. If you're not tuning into that, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So you can completely ignore Patriots and Titans.
I do love always seeing if I can get a regional map of which games are getting, and then the poor saps that have to watch and get fed in and pumped in. Residing in a state where both of those teams aren't, but you just happen to be on the cut line.
Yeah.
Like, if I was living, 3 blocks over,
No, I
could
completely
be
agree.
watching this game.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm getting force-fed a Patriots-Titans match.
Yeah,
this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. That's not going to be good football. And I would also say probably Saints-Panthers will be below average as well.
Saints-Panthers is another one I would wager. Looking at this, Commanders-Giants traditionally would be one as well, but Jaden Daniels now is worth the time to tune in just to see what he's going to do.
Crazy thing's going to happen.
Going down the slate again, Rams-Seahawks. A lot of divisional matchups this weekend as well. Rams-Seahawks should be interesting. The Rams picking up things, turning things on in that division. I mean, may the best team win.
That's a turtle derby.
Somebody's got to get it, right? And you're right, turtle derby there. Bears Cardinals again. Undefeated at home, winless on the road. Your Chicago Bears.
Right.
Do you see that turning this weekend against the Cards?
I listen. They have such a young quarterback and such a scattershot coaching staff that they are impossible to predict. As far as what you saw it at the end of the last football game, they were in control and then just complete concentration breakdown. And not just from the players, from the coaching staff as well, to not have their players ready for that, to not have game planned properly that situation. So, an impossible team to predict.
You mentioned scattered shot, but I would still in the hunt, that NFC. I mean, we talked about the West
they've got
division.
Good talent.
Yeah, and you're right there. You're knocking on the door. You're a game back of a lot of wild card chasers here.
Yeah, but that is a team that succeeds in spite of their coaching, not because of it.
Yeah. Jimbo says, please give me A&W. My children need beef. He texted in the picture of the Simpsons spaceship. They'll clog the instruments. Careful, they're ruffled. Who was the crack team on there? Was it Buzz Aldrin?
Buzz Aldrin, I think,
Second man on the moon. Nobody. Another classic episode. Sending Homer and. I don't understand. That was non-alcoholic champagne. He blasts off.
It begins.
What's Aldrin say again? Second man on the. No shame in coming second or something like that. I can't remember the line, but
I think my favorite, if you want to see perfect prediction of the current media landscape, that episode and the way that the news broadcast reacts is a perfect encapsulation of what has happened to us as a culture, right? I, for one, welcome our new ant overlords, right?
Yeah. And even before, why are you sending this? I have a question for the barbecue chef. That and the time that Homer runs for a sanitation commissioner, right? And taking on the old seasoned bureaucrat.
Yeah.
But you got this new uppity, promising all of these things that he can't deliver on.
And also as someone who used to produce live radio, the, who's the artist that comes on to sing? Taylor, James Taylor. James Taylor, where it's like there's absolute chaos going on the shuttle, and everyone has to shut up because James Taylor's going to sing.
Sweet dreams of flying machines, crashing safely to the falling safely to the ground. Yeah. We got the soothing sounds of soft rock artist James Taylor. I gotta watch that again. What an episode. Let's get into that Hurts right now for James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law, jameshbrown.com. Look, we didn't get into it with Herm too much, but that hurt last night, that football game.
Well, you had
the
to
hockey
watch
game.
It. You had to watch it. I didn't.
I had to watch it. We had it on. We had the sound on. We had the Oilers on as well. It hurts if you're a Preds fan. I guess the only silver lining for Preds is they only have to play the Oilers one more time this season.
Lazon's face hurts today.
Lazone's face hurts. Podkolzin's hand hurts. He'll take that pain. But you're just seeing him in the penalty box and just, hey.
Man.
They don't get sweeter.
We talked about it in the 6 o'clock hour, but we need to talk about, that is as pure of a straight right as you are going to see in a hockey fight.
And with the lack of fights nowadays, which again, we're not going to get into that debate.
But you
don't see a lot of those now, like the clean hit.
If Podkolzin had not been holding onto his jersey, he launches him out of his boots. Like, you saw it. Like,
yeah, right? Like, off to space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts. But that football game, man, we talked when you and I showed up here conveniently at the same time today. We walked in the
Yeah, you rolled in hot.
But you said too, like, it's one of those bad accidents where actually, like, again, a terrible football game for the football purist.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're dropping the ball, running into the end zone, and then it's a touchback on your own home field, and field goals are being blocked and missed, and quarterbacks are overshooting receivers by 10, 20 yards, and again, 8 sacks on C.J. Stroud from that Jets defense. It had a little bit of everything in a you called it a yakety sax type of game. Put that music over top. Nobody's complaining. No. I don't need the commentators.
No. Yeah, if you treated it as what it truly was, which is a sick comedy, you're completely entertained.
A snuff film,
right?
Of sorts.
Like if Wil Ferrell's the quarterback, you're like, this is one of his best roles ever.
It could be a made for TV
that's
movie.
Right. Yeah.
Not a Hollywood blockbuster or anything. But yes, just to recap, C.J. Stroud, 11 of 30 for $191 through the air. Aaron Rodgers, 22, 32, 211, 3 touchdowns. A tidy night from him, finding Devontae Adams
not
as
thrown
well.
For 300 yards in, a decade? I don't know.
I'm trying to dress this puppy up. 106 yards for Joe Mixon on the ground, 24 touches and a touchdown as well. Tank Dell going over 100 on 6 grabs, albeit no touchdown passes from Stroud. Again, just the way in which that game unfolded. The fact, too, and I think zeroing
Who's the rookie who dropped again?
I know. It was Corley. Malachi Corley.
Is there a happier man with that win than him? Can you imagine being a rookie and walking into the dressing room after a loss?
Look, they
after
win.
What he did?
They win, but you have to now go to film next week, and the film room is not going to look kindly. You're gonna have to watch that play again with your team.
Now it's just teasing, right?
I know,
right?
I know.
Like they'll rib him, they'll give him a hard time. He'll probably get yelled at a little bit, but if they had lost, with him doing that,
it's your difference there in a sense as a touchdown off the board in a 21-13 game. But give me a break with that. I'm gonna swear.
Happen?
I know, that's what I'm saying. You got to 3 steps into the end zone. Do whatever the hell you want with the ball after that. But in the end zone.
The first time it happened in the history of football, you're like,
should have been enough.
I guess that's
I can't be that guy.
But this has happened many times now, where they showboat into the end zone and forget to do the one job that they have, which is just score the touchdown.
The adrenaline's coursing through your veins. You're excited, as you mentioned, a rookie, that all those things. But until you're touching the paint, right? Until that's the point of the end zone. It's colored different, like in a sense. You got the logoing, everything else. You know when you're in. It should almost be entering a different dimension. You should feel it. But to casually just drop it,
to do it and to have a rookie do it, like that's the other thing. Like you would think as a rookie, you've got crazy glue. Like they're going to have to rip that ball out of your hands.
Yeah. Gesundheit, but that does hurt. And I don't even think James H. Brown can cure that hurt for Malachi Corley.
No, he walks away from that client.
Look, good luck.
You're going to need to seek different representation. We cannot.
I don't want anything of this. I don't want to be touching this. I don't want to be having anything to do with this, Malachi. Good luck with yourself. Garrett Wilson as well, 90 yards, 9 grabs, and 2 touchdowns. So the big boys showing up and eating for who needs Malachi Corley when you got Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams hauling in 3 touchdowns combined last night. Congratulations.
What a great looking catch.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Jets now improving to 3-6. I think some people still probably have them as representing the AFC in a Super Bowl. I don't know what fantasy world you might be living in there, but there are sickos out there. I know it.
Yeah,
I saw it online.
They're called Jets fans.
The Texans now 6-3.
Yeah.
And albeit an injury-riddled Texans team last night, as Norman the Combine found out. Norman the Combine shows up, Texan fan, dyed in the wool, and he walks out of there with a green Aaron Rodgers jersey. I tweeted the picture out of him. That hurts as well. And you know what else hurts is that Box Pounder. It was kind of a hot potato last night, as Box Pounder did have the final score on the scoreboard. He left, I think, flirting with the 2-minute warning, saying, no need sticking around. I'm not going to win this one. He walked out of the bar, we then had to give it the consolation, or the next man up was Norman Combine, so he gets the Aaron Rodgers jersey. Somebody had to be walking out of there with it last night, and it was Norman Combine, so congratulations to him. Christmas is coming, Norm. I'm sure you know a Jets fan in your life. Hit it, Trev.
Changing 200.
Gotta love it. Let's hit a sports update now. We'll get a little early here for sit and sleep. I think that is the beer man, correct? We will have Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Coming up next, Rob Kowalczyk of Solutions Brewing down in Airdrie will join us in studio. And, we'll have some fun with that. Of course, your next chance to win $50 for Sobeys and Safeway Liquor on the way as well. It is the Nielson Show. No Dustin Nielson today. Wil Fraser in for the big guy, Lieutenant Eric, and YouTube Trev with the sports updates here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Last night, Leon Draisaitl with 2 goals and an assist as the Oilers dumped the Preds 5-1. Zach Hyman and Victor Arvidsson also recording their first goals of the season, while Noah Philp records his first NHL point in his first NHL game. Oilers return home and will visit the Flames Sunday night. Puck drop at 6 p.m. Elsewhere in the NHL, Alex Ovechkin scored along with 2 assists as the Capitals double up on the Habs 6-3. The Sharks edged the Blackhawks 3-2. Sidney Crosby scored twice as the Penguins got past Anaheim 2-1. Hurricanes all over the Bruins 8-2. Leafs topped the Kraken 4-1, and Philly over the Blues 2-1. Today in the NHL puck drop at noon from Finland, the Stars battle the Panthers. And then 5 games dot the schedule later tonight. Over to the NFL, the Jets topped the Texans 12-13 to snap a 5-game skid in the association. Victor Wembanyama with 25 points, 5 blocks, and 5 steals as the Spurs topped the Jazz 106-88. Suns improved to 4-1 on the season with a 125-119 win over the Clippers. The Rockets defeat the Mavs 108-102, while the Bucks have dropped 4 straight following a 122-99 loss to the Grizzlies. And the Raptors are back home to host the Lakers tonight in one of 9 games around the NBA. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. Next to Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common.
It is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and live on YouTube. That nice wide shot as we the studio gets a little more full. It's always nice to have another guest in here as well. We will be doing the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week here, and we've got Rob Kowalchuk, Solutions Brewing in Airdrie, giving us his time and traveling all this way. We'll be joined by him in a matter of minutes. Once again, as I said, $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor will be on the line a little later during the segment. Rob will let us know what the special is, the Beer of the Week special, courtesy his brewery at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, so you can get your weekend set. 1 degree for a high today in Edmonton, mix of sun and cloud. Pretty nice weekend on the way as well for fall temps, and -2 in the Edmonton region right now. It's Wil Fraser in for Dustin Nielson, Lieutenant Eric, and YouTube Trev. Once again, your next chance at the EST Flight Away to LA Keyword. That's coming up in the Hangout. Jay Milne's getting coffees. Jay asked, he doesn't have your phone number if you wanted a coffee later. He always brings in coffees Friday.
Oh, no, I'm all coffeed up.
Timbits, nothing,
yeah,
you're
I
good.
appreciate it, though. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, so Jay, no coffees for Will. He'll be in the Hangout alongside Matt Iwanek and Tom Gazzola, 9 to 11, your next chance
hangout.
at the... it's Fridays... Again, I was telling Rob here, too, it's a nice way to end the week. You got Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. The Glue Guy's going to be in the Hangout. It's a nice Friday. The vibes are high, and it's pulsating around EST HQ.
And the Oilers won. That always helps, too.
That, either you're drowning the sorrows away or you're celebrating it. Rob Kowalchuk, Solutions Brew, would you like a candy corn? Will offered you off air, but I thought I'd offer the guest if you wanted one to eat or suck on. Or
you know what? Sure, why not?
Yeah, let's have a little taste. Do you like them? Are you a fan? Or are you? I didn't mean to pressure you if you don't, but
I'm a fan of all things sugar.
Yeah.
We also learned today that it's got pork gelatin and confectioner's shellac. The ingredients on here are wild. You may not eat another one ever again, but
sometimes it's best not to know.
Thanks for joining me. Yeah, Team Candy Corn.
You can really taste the gelatin.
Yeah. The shellac sticks to your teeth somewhat. But Rob, thank you for coming up and taking the time and coming in today. Solutions Brewing. We always kind of lead off. And it's a traditional question here. How did you get this thing started? It's usually a couple of guys, they're going to college or something, and, it's one party night, and they make a concoction or something like that. Or did it take a little more intuition and thought going into Solutions Brewing?
A little bit. I mean, for me, it was kind of started out whereas, I like beer a lot. I was living in Fort Mac for a little while, too. So, that's what you do. Yeah. Enjoy a few beers. And I don't know, I just got kind of curious about the whole process. Like, how is it made? What makes each beer different? What makes it special? And, I was just doing some research and reading, learning out all about, different, water profiles, hops, malts, and let's give it a try. And I wish I'd started sooner because it was so easy. You just go out there and go to, a homebrew shop and pick up a kit, a fermenter bucket, right? And you just put everything in there. In 2 weeks, you got some beer. I'm like,
This is like what we do now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Everybody can do a podcast now. You buy the equipment, you buy the kit, and you go, you're doing a sports show or whatever. But how long have you been doing this? How long has this been kind of going on in the Solutions Brewing form?
In the Solutions Brewing form? So we started selling beer in 2020.
Okay.
Not the greatest time to start.
Yeah,
but,
good time to start a business.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, we're like, if we didn't start it then, would we have ever started?
Sure. Yeah.
Because then you get all the doom and gloom. You're like, you know what?
Had a lot of time to sit around and drink during that time, if I remember correctly. In anyways, it kind of...
Yeah, so, it gave us a lot of time to work on recipes and ones that we wanted to actually, not just make for ourselves, but for everyone else. And that's kind of like what we brought with myself today.
That's fantastic. Airdrie seemed like an untapped market. Is that why you guys are out of Airdrie, or do they have special water? Some people always...
No, actually, funny enough, though, the water in Airdrie comes from Calgary.
Yeah.
So when the pipe broke, we were in restrictions there too.
That.
But part of it was just I actually live there.
Okay.
And then I've got two other partners, and they're in Calgary.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of
made the most sense
there, and there are a lot of breweries in Calgary, so we kind of wanted to spread out and be somewhere a little bit different where we could stand out maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Airdrie is a little bit unique because there's actually 4 breweries if you count ourselves.
Yeah.
There would have been more. One of them closed down. Was it last year? 2 years ago? Fitzsimmons shut down. But there's still 948 and Atlas and Balzac.
What is the beer of the week specifically this week? As we kind of let's dive into maybe the candy lineup here.
Yeah, you betcha. And actually, it's kind of interesting that you do have the candy corn. This one actually would be a good pair. So this one we call it
Pairing with candy corn,
that's
a
right.
beer. Oh, this is something else.
Yeah, so we call this one the Dark Ritual. It's a watermelon goza, which is kind of a fancy way of saying sour. So it's a little bit lighter. It's a 4.8%.
Okay.
And it's got a sour, but it's got a nice little color to it. I'll just
All right.
crack that open for you guys. And I brought you guys some nice glasses.
That's fantastic.
Love it.
So you get a chance to see the beer.
Now, what do you guys, the artwork on the cans, I'm always really fascinated. There's so many beers now. You want to stand out. You want to be unique. You want to kind of pop the eye when people go into a shop. But is this an in-house artist, or you kind of outsource this to some people to do the artwork?
So although we're okay with ideas for stuff, we're not very artistic ourselves.
Yeah.
So yes, no, we did need some help for with the artwork. Did you want one there too? Yeah, you bet. It's enough for everybody. So basically we have an idea. So this one we call it Dark Ritual because the joke was, we're sacrificing real watermelons to make this beer. So the joke was, you have the pentagram of salt, and then you've got the watermelon in the middle, and you got the hooded figures, and then,
This stick man, where does that come from?
So that's our little mascot.
Okay. I was thinking of that website, stickdeath.com. Do you remember
Yes,
back
I
in the day?
remember that.
Okay,
That was
that's
an old one. Yeah, that
exactly
was
what it
one.
reminded me of there, yeah.
We actually call him Tim.
Tim.
Yeah. So the joke was this one was, so these cans, these labels that we've got are a lot nicer than our original ones. We used to do, because we tried to do ourselves and our art sucks. So we were drawing little stick figures.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a throwback just to kind of remember kind of how we started out.
An Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Exactly.
I love it.
So we
yeah.
put that on all of our cans. Ours here, we got Tim
There he is.
on
Yeah.
top of there.
Yeah.
And on this one, he's on top of this.
He's always getting into something, eh? That Tim, eh? Oh,
that Tim.
So this is the beer of the week, the watermelon goza?
This is the official the official beer of the week.
So what makes a gauza a gauza?
So it's salt and sour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, boys,
Cheers.
Cheers. To Tim.
To Tim.
To Tim.
To Tim.
To Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could drink a lot of that.
And yes, does pair well with the candy corn.
Yeah, so
Washing
the
it out of the
kind of
mouth.
washes
Yep.
it out a little bit, kind of cuts down the sweetness of the candy corn.
Cuts down the sweet. You get a little bit of that salt and the
Well, the
watermelon
salt
hint.
is what cleans it out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Very good. Love it. All right. Well,
And champagne bubbles, right? Like really tight.
good head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one ever argues about bad head. Right?
Nope. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
And okay, well, what's down the line up here then after the
So-
watermelon? How do you pronounce it?
Goza.
Goza.
Yeah. So normally if we were sampling, I wouldn't give you the sour first because it's kind of a unique flavor compared to these other ones. So we also have a blonde ale and we have an IPA, which also complement the beer of the week. I don't know if you guys want it in these glasses.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, we're all good. Don't. No need to be.
We're not
picky here.
fancy.
No, this isn't. Tossing candy corn around the
All
studio.
right,
is
so
all good.
okay, let's go with the missing piece blonde ale. How about that?
Love it. Rob Kowalchuk once again joining us. Solutions Brewing out in Airdrie. For more information, solutionsbrewing.com. Nice little tight website. I do see at the top of the page you have a podcast tab. You guys
do,
are also
yeah.
in the podcast. It's funny I mentioned that. but you guys do
we were
a-
just joking about how
Love it.
everyone's got a podcast,
Yeah,
including us. Yeah.
So what is it? Is it yourself and just members of the staff, or how does that kind of go? And why did you kind of want to venture into that realm? We don't get a lot of brewers on the show every Friday, but not many of them have a podcast attached to their brewery.
Yeah, it was one of those things where because we've been bootstrapping to start it out, where we're like, oh, you know what? What's a more interesting way to get out there and try to get some listeners or whatever? And that was one of the ways we did, and it was partly successful, but we don't have a huge following of people, to be honest. But you know what? It was something that we could easily do, meet up together. We could do it online if we weren't able to meet up.
So no real uniform too. You just kind of do it whenever, wherever type of thing, whomever. And
We started out
not a lot of
regularly.
structure.
We were doing it weekly, and then lately we've kind of gone more monthly.
Okay.
But yeah, this is kind of something we were doing for fun, and
For more on the beer and the brewery as well, you guys are on Instagram and Facebook in terms of social media platforms as well. No food at your, is it you can go in there, sample beer and everything like that? I mean, some places have a food option, restaurant type of thing, but do you have what is it? You go in just a bar type of ideal, or what is the,
Right. So we're a little bit different. We don't have a tap room yet.
Okay.
So that's kind of something we're looking for.
Okay.
We do have a tiny little production space where we make 50 liters ourselves. So it's very tiny.
Yeah.
These large batches, we actually will contract some of these.
Okay.
So that we can make larger batches. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
That is in the works, though, as you mentioned. Do you have any other, did you want to get into the food thing? Like, is that kind of dreams and goals later down the line for you guys?
I think it's important. I mean, beer and food go really well together.
Yeah.
I mean, and beer goes well with a lot of things, especially snackish type foods that
You don't have to
everyone
go,
likes, you know, like
you don't need
you got,
entrees and stuff. But
Yeah, you like pizza, nachos, that kind of stuff.
even, I know a lot of people have allergies, but just like peanuts and pretzels and things like that, you can really dress up.
Hamburgers.
That
stuff is awesome. Yeah.
That type of thing. All right, well, and this one again is the
blonde.
This is the Missing Piece Blonde Ale.
Missing Piece Blonde Ale. Okay, so anything, just a nice blonde ale, looks like a good color. Hey,
Yeah, so this one will have a little bit of a caramel sweetness to it, which is what we call the missing piece.
Okay.
And that comes from the malt that we use. Okay. So it's nice. This is very light, smooth. This is like, you could call this like an everyday kind of drinker. This would be something you like, you sit down for dinner, have a beer, come home from work after, something, just relax.
Yeah, like sometimes a lot of blondes can be a little hop forward. This feels malt forward.
Yeah.
Like just really pleasant, sort of
Well,
a relaxing sip.
to Leon Draisaitl, Der Nashville Meister. Eh?
Yes.
Yes. Cheers.
Yeah, you're right. That is a day of work.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, it's been a day.
Very welcoming.
I think I need a blonde.
Like a nice hug.
Yeah.
Very delicious there. All right. Well, and then what's the final one here, Rob Kowalczyk? Solutions Brewing out of Airdrie.
So the final one is our IPA, which we call Friends Night Out. And this one we used a hops, which is called Zamba. So this one it's not as much hop forward. You will definitely notice some hops. But you're going to notice also like a little bit of a hint of tangerine, and that comes from the hop.
The citrus hops, or
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly. This one's fine. Yeah. Let's not get them mixed up. And yeah, this is another one. This one's a little bit higher percentage. This is a 6%.
Okay.
So this is like if you're going out with your friends, you're going to have a good time.
yeah, crush a couple of those and you'll be feeling. This is good. And once again, solutionsbrewing.com if you want more information on these beers, all up there at that website, but and Instagram, Facebook as well.
Oh yeah, no worries. Take as much as you like. I get this stuff all the time.
Trevor had a long night last night.
Exactly, yeah.
That's Friday.
It's been a wicked Halloween, and so this is once again this is the Friends Night Out IPA.
That's correct. Yep.
6%. It says here sometimes you need to vent about work, develop a new idea, or simply watch the game and celebrate your team winning. What better way to do this than with a Friends Night Out to catch up and solve all the world's problems?
Or forget that they lost.
Yeah. It goes both ways. It's a it's a 5-tool beer here we're talking about, right?
No
Good
problems,
times
just
are bad.
solutions, right?
Refreshing tangerine taste, aromas of stone and tropical fruit.
That's right.
As well in this one, so I love it. Well, cheers, boys, to the CFL playoffs.
CFL playoffs. Cheers.
That's delicious.
Very good. These are all very nice and unique and to their own. I mean, fitting the labels and fitting the different colors. Tim is the constant throughout, but very unique and different beers this morning. The threesome, very nice.
Yes, thank you.
And the dark ritual. Watermelon Goza.
Yeah.
Goza.
No, with a soft Z.
Goza.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is your Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week in a 4-pack.
Yes.
4-pack for the tall boys. And that's the cue right now. Text in Beer Me. Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. We will throw all of the Beer Me texts into a hat and pick a lucky winner, and you will be awarded $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Rob, any parting words this morning? I know that, again, appreciate your time coming up here as well. You mentioned you're staying St. Albert Way or whatever. Edmonton, where is home? What's kind of...
home for me is Airdrie. I live in Airdrie.
Okay, yeah.
And like,
but originally, do you kind of come from here, or
I was born and raised in Calgary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were cheering to Draisaitl earlier. Are you? You can confess now. I mean, who do you kind of?
Are you a Flames fan?
What's the support? Yeah.
Actually, oddly enough, I'm a Sharks fan.
Hey!
Which is really hard to be right now. Yeah.
Wow, I love it.
I
Go
don't mind that.
Teal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Who would have thought Flames would have been a better choice?
Yeah.
Hey, well, I don't know. Can I ask how?
So growing up, like in school, the shark was my favorite animal.
Okay.
And then, San Jose was an expansion team.
And it was a cool look when it came about, right?
They came out with a nice teal that had
You had a
more
Pat
unique.
Falloon Sharks jersey, did you?
Oh, and Nolan?
No, actually, I have Patrick Marleau.
Oh,
Yes,
perfect.
yes,
Mr.
yes.
Shark. Yep.
Yeah. Owen Nolan was great too. Arturs Urbe, I was kind of a fan of him as well.
The leaping Latvian.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was, because I was born in '83, so they came out in like '91.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm only
Perfect time.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it was just kind of the shark was my favorite animal. I was like, oh, that's cool, and I loved hockey. So I just started cheering for them just because.
But you've maintained. I mean, some good years not getting over the line. Macklin Celebrini now. You got to be excited now about the future moving forward, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Not the immediate, but
yeah. I mean, Will Smith scored a couple goals last night, so that was kind of nice.
The Fresh Prince.
That's right. Yeah.
yeah. I love that. Sharks. I would have never.
No, not too many people.
Even if you weren't a Flames fan, I would have gone all around the league before probably settling in on San Jose.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's But text it once again. Beer Me 780-218-9999. Rob, really appreciate the time this morning, man. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Will, any parting questions for Rob?
I've noticed this just as a fan of craft beer. How long does it take you to drive across this province now? Because every year it gets slower and slower for me because there are more and more craft breweries that I need to stop in. Where it's kind of like, oh, it's Lacombe. Oh, it's now it's like Rimby or like there's always a new place to be stopping in and trying. Do you find it's like your drive time used to be, well, Airdrie to Edmonton, I can do that in 2.5 hours, and now it's a 5-hour trip for you.
Yeah, pretty much. The trick is I just make it a part of a motorcycle ride, so it's like it's like part of the day.
Yeah. It's like it is kind of, you should not drink and drive, but it is one of those perfect sort of road trips through Alberta. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like, every place has its kind of signature brewery.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, especially if, like I mentioned, the motorcycle is, I like to look for more side roads or hidden roads.
Yeah, Highway 20, Highway 22.
Yeah, 1A. 1A is great.
1A is great, yeah.
So you just kind of go and take a nice little cruise. The idea is go for a little cruise, find a little brewery with a
pint.
Nice little patio, just sit out, relax.
Yeah.
Enjoy the sun, scenery. Yeah.
Another thing on your website, too, and you can meet the solution makers, Brendan, Stephen, and yourself, Robert. I'm seeing you here. You mentioned a bike.
Yeah.
This is how you came up here, bike rider. I mean, what Harley? Is that what you're kind of doing here, or what's going on?
So, although I like the sound of Harleys, I don't like the price tag.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to spend for 1960s technology.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So I actually I have a Yamaha Striker here.
Okay,
so it's a 1300 cc, so it's a little fair size bike.
That's a big bike.
A lot of people mistake that one for Harley. It looks pretty similar.
I only know the speed bikes and then the other ones with the big old handlebars.
The apes.
Yeah.
Do you correct people? You go, no, this one starts every time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The Harley
It's not a
singers.
Harley.
I don't have to turn.
Starts.
Yeah, I don't have to turn wrenches every day around.
Brendan's a licensed pilot. Stephen likes Dungeons and Dragons. You apparently don't drink coffee, but you're an early riser.
That's correct. Yeah, actually,
What kind of a sicko are you?
Yeah, a lot of people bug me on that one. I actually woke up today without an alarm clock. It's just, I don't know. I've always been that way ever since growing up.
And no caffeine.
No caffeine. Yeah, I don't drink coffee.
Oh, man.
Wow. I like the smell. It smells great.
Okay,
It tastes terrible.
Very honest. I love it. Yeah,
I think you've just been drinking bad coffee. That's
get him a good one.
Trevor's shaking his coffee cups over there.
Robert, appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
And do you want a candy corn for the road? I have tons left here.
Well,
If you
I
want
can't say no to the sugary
absolutely.
treats,
See, Will, he loves
Yeah.
it here. Here, you want
Feel
one?
free to just fire one in on Trevor.
Yeah, we've been doing. We'll let Robert out here, I guess, and get into the rap. Will, tell a joke here if you can.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric.
I don't have any jokes. I have rambles.
Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
I weave, as some politicians have been said to do from time to time. But that's fantastic.
For the beer fridge, eh?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Love it.
Well, you guys got a little bit of a problem over there. You guys need to get
Another fridge.
Yeah, no.
So, anyways, there was a guy waiting for the bus one day, and a young lady was standing in front of him, and as she stepped up to the bus driver, she realized that she had to have the exact change for the bus fare, and so because of things being tight, her purse had accidentally slung in behind her back, and so she unzipped her purse and rummaged around, and she swore that she had the $2.50 for the bus fare, but she could not find it anywhere. And you could tell that the bus driver was getting annoyed, and some of the people on the bus were kind of looking at her, wondering, why is this taking so long? And the man behind her politely tapped her on the shoulder and said, "Please, ma'am, allow me to pay." And she said, "No, that's not necessary. I have the $2.50. And she proceeded to reach back behind her, unzip her purse, and rummage around. And wouldn't you know it, she just could not find the change. And at this point, the bus driver is getting more annoyed. They're on a time schedule, and more people are getting upset, and she's getting more and more embarrassed. And once again, the man taps her on the shoulder and says, I feel like I must insist. Please allow me to pay." And she goes, "No, that won't be necessary." And a third time, she reaches behind her, unzips her purse, rummages around, can't find the change. And she swore that morning she put change for bus fare, and she was frustrated. She could not find it. As she rummaged around, she zipped back up her purse, and in frustration, she kind of gave the bus driver that look like, "I don't know what I'm going to do." And the man behind her said, "Ma'am, I must insist. Just allow me to pay." And she said, "I cannot. I don't know you. I would feel uncomfortable. I don't know you well enough to allow you to pay for me." And he says, "Don't know me well enough. You've just zipped and unzipped my fly 3 times."
And they called them the aristocrats. Ha! Let's get in the rap. Outstanding. Real good. It is the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, WilliamHuff.com. In business since 1952. You know they're incredible at what they do. WilliamHuff.com. Boys, what did we learn on the show today? I learned that Trevor loves candy corn. You do, right? Come on. You want one more slice?
I wouldn't say I love it.
Sure
I don't hate it. I tolerate it, I'd say. I learned that Will likes to throw candy corn at me. He likes it.
We got
He loves it.
Maddie's gonna.
I can whistle it in. That stuff is perfectly
more of it.
rated.
Humming it. Yeah. Here, have another shot.
Yeah, let's see.
One more shot. One shot. One kill. Once again, we thank Rob from Solutions Brewing for sharing his time with us today. Will, did you pick up anything from the show today, the program? You come away any more wiser?
No, that was not the mission.
I know.
In fact, I think I came away a little bit more dumb.
You were filling in this week. We have been defrocking the studio.
Defrocking.
As Halloween is now officially over, the cobwebs are down. That's nice. So we've been taking care of that. We've been dirtying the studio and cleaning it up almost at the same time.
Yeah.
Text of the day today, I'm going to give it to, it's Jimbo.
Yeah.
He took the time to find the pick, send it in. Careful, they'll clog the instruments. They're ruffled.
Well done. And on point. On theme. Yeah.
On theme, on point, Simpsons reference. You checked all the boxes there, Jimbo. You're going to A&W, $20. We'll get in touch with you there as well. Sound of the day, pretty much the pings and the dings of the candy corn flying off the monitors and Trev's computer over there, which was highly entertaining for me.
Yeah.
I hope it was for you as well, watching or listening this morning.
A good show for me is when I'm entertained.
Yeah.
I don't know about anyone else.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, exactly.
That's just it. As long as we're entertained, that's fine. Lambhammer says this is a terrible Norm Macdonald impersonation. Look, if you would have done the moth, what is it, the podiatrist joke, right? Like,
right? Yeah.
Whatever. He was filling time, and I.
First of all, there's only terrible Norm Macdonald impressions. So it's very nebulous.
He was a terrible Norm Macdonald
exactly,
impression. He would have admitted that himself.
There's no such thing as a good Norm Macdonald impression.
No. Listen, the EST Hangout's coming up next. It's your next chance to qualify for the EST Flyway to LA coming up in the next 2 hours, 9 to 11, with Matthew Iwanek, Jason Milne, Tom Gazzola, and guess who else is here? Toby. Remember Toby from the Bear? Toby Johnston? Were you there?
Toby!
Did that timeline overlap with you at all? No. Toby, he was on with Warren. You might remember Warren Barris, the afternoon show. Toby is in the studio in the house. So I'll have to give that cat a big old hug. Good to see him again. Should be a great hangout. Once again, your next chance to qualify as well, 9 to 11, and throughout the day here on Edmonton Sports Talk, finishing off with this evening's Reed Wilkins Show, 3 to 6 here on EST. I want to thank as well Chris Johnston today from TSN and The Athletic for joining us. He was our hockey insider and analyst, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Also for Pro-Am Sports, Herm Edwards, the coach, returned, setting up Week 9 slate in the NFL. We cracked some packs for Wayne's. Want to remind you as well, Wayne Sports Cards here on the West End have their advent calendars out now. You can start cracking with us soon. Christmas season is coming up. Halloween's done. We will observe Remembrance Day. However, the next season of giving and fun and frivolity is Christmas, and that's coming up with the advent calendars at Wayne's. And want to thank Rob for the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Once again, text and beer me 780-218-9999. That's the Paris Jewelers inbox, and you could be $50 richer in Sobeys and Safeway Liquor credits. And I want to thank you, Wil Fraser, for joining me. This has been the week started, Trev, with a text at about 4 o'clock from Dustin Nielson.
In the morning.
You and I did the show, which was great, to which...
EST first?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, we could... Look, it's old hat. We're old... we broadcast.
I thought it was
amazing.
amazing.
Great. It's fine. But adding a little Willie to our life, it's
okay.
Well, it's...
I'm just joking.
It's more than this is the candy corn talking. This is the candy corn talking.
No, it'll pass. No, I understand. I feel I'm having a real flashback right now. It's a little bit of PTSD. Be careful in Regina this weekend. Just stay safe. Just be. Like, I'm filling in for you on Monday. I'll be back with Dustin, unless Dustin is still malingering.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you
malingering,
what is the definition?
4?
Trev, I told you to look it up. What's the definition?
Yeah, it's like, what would you describe?
To exaggerate or
exaggerate when you're sick. Essentially, you're like, I'm sick. No, I can't do this.
Or like like when you've got a bit of a limp and then you like,
you over exaggerate,
milking it. Yeah.
You're milking it.
You're milking it. Yeah.
No, and I will be. I'll be hitting the highway
I
later
will be
today.
worried the entire time. So please,
or should you look?
You know
me.
Send a text when you get home safe.
I'm a homeowner now.
I know.
I creak. I crack.
Me too.
Listen,
you're an incredibly responsible adult in Edmonton, but I don't trust you in Regina.
Nor should you, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to trip the tight
say
elastic.
Happy birthday to your dad for me.
I will, too. Happy birthday, Dad, as we start the show. Yes, I'll be seeing him tonight as well, and birthday wishes
That's
as well.
Wonderful.
I appreciate your time, Will.
You know who you are? The good son.
I didn't want to say it.
No, nor should you.
I'm the shorter. I am the less blonde. I am the more tan.
Yeah.
I kind of it's the brown-eyed. But the good son. That
You're
translates.
The good son.
You deserve a candy corn.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Gosh,
I appreciate that.
For Wil Fraser and for Dusty. And Dusty, get well, get better soon. We want you to get well. And YouTube Trev, who's killed it this week on the sports updates and keeping the show on track. I'm Lieutenant Eric. Once again, Hangout coming up next. Stick to EST all day throughout the day. Entertaining programming on the way. Your next chance at the EST Flyway to LA keywords throughout the day. For YouTube Trev, Wil Fraser and for Dustin Nielsen, I'm Lieutenant Eric. Have a great weekend. Enjoy everything. Be safe. We love you.